Hello, and welcome back to the table. How you doing, Wonders? How you guys doing?
I'm doing okay.
Zito, you
Doing, quite well.
you look like you're.
Oh, you are.
I'm sorry. Are you shilling?
Is that a book?
No. See,
What could you possibly wish to shill?
I don't know. See, like, there's a lot of things in this world that I normally don't, like, really care that much about.
You're covering the microphone with the book.
I
by
could
the
be
way.
lying. I could be lying about the fact that there's not a lot of things I like in life, but this Creature Kodak book from Cobalt Press, I gotta say, this very nice hardcover. Almost every time when I've walked by with this thing, everyone in the office has almost mistaken it for the Hyrule Historia. That you can tell that's quality right there.
Yeah. No, it's got a nice hard cover, and it smells like a new book.
And it's so shiny.
And it
is very
sounds
shiny.
hollow. What are you hiding in it? Why? Lots of information, of course, on various monsters that you
course.
can throw into your D&D campaign.
Of course, information.
I wonder if shilling, the currency, was named after the act of shilling or the other way around.
See, I'm not really sure. It's like
I feel like the act.
I feel like the currency itself would be the first thing, right? Because that's like, oh, I'm looking for shill. I'm
Yeah,
doing this
yeah.
for the shilling.
yeah.
I'm shilling for this.
I would think.
It's like
that's-
fishing, but money.
That's the way I think language works, anyway. That's how I would make language work. But yes, this is another this is something. It was a Kickstarter campaign, right, Zito?
Indeed. Cobalt
Yeah,
Press
so-
was doing a Kickstarter for another book for a shitload of monsters.
Yeah.
and
So we're not being paid for this. In fact, Zito paid to shill for this.
He purchased this book of his own
I
accord.
purchased this book.
Of my own free will.
I added to the Kickstarter so I could get a monster in here. So
Behold.
There you have it. Available at Kobold Press. Now, if anybody would like to actually pay us to advertise their stuff, imagine what we would do for you.
Oh,
Look, we can chroma key the green out of this flag in an instant.
Look at these
and have
cards
your
below
logo.
me, right here.
I mean,
anything.
I mean, this
I'm
book,
wearing a fucking dildo shirt.
I mean, this book also came with a huge box of the paper minis, so you could actually get every single monster in this book as a mini.
You can make
a
a
little
origami.
stand-up.
Anyway,
That's nice.
with that out of the way, welcome back to the table.
Heyo.
Not sure if that part will make it into the archive or not, but hey, who knows?
it's a surprise every
It's a
time
surprise
that archive
to
goes
us.
up.
Speaking of surprises,
Yeah.
we got a fun surprise
Lots of fun
in our
surprises
PO box.
in our
Yeah.
PO box. We showed these off on Friday, but we had these lovely, lovely pens made.
Crafted.
Yeah, they're
Four.
not. Speaking of chroma key, they're not chroma keyed out this time. They're just really far away from the camera.
Yeah, just kind of tiny, but they're all very fancy, handcrafted pens. Each different, by the way. Like
Yeah.
they are all different.
I love the weight. I feel like I could get ripped just doing curls with it over here.
Yep, these were poured into molds by the person themselves, all acrylic.
Yeah,
Nice.
they did not leave a name, but thank you so
Okay.
much. They were actually made from bits and pieces of their old house, apparently.
Yeah.
Too.
Yep.
Yeah, and fun fact, they can only be unmade if taken back to the very mold in which they were forged.
Yeah, you must find the very smelter.
Shit, are we cursed?
I
We
mean,
are.
I ask that every day when I wake up, but
Yes, but it has nothing to do with these lovely pens.
that's absolutely nothing to do with the pens.
All right. So last we left our heroes, we had ourselves a little bit of a funeral farewell to the ship. And now we are entering a new day. In this new day, I'm going to state that you guys pretty much had your breakfast, you woke up, you're heading over to where you last saw... You woke up Dagon, who's close by. His little hovel is close by to
I was
meet
sleeping
ship.
on a bench.
Ooh, you got the prime real estate. Good job.
I just wanted to be at the docks when we were ready to go. Sorry.
Punctual. All right, I like it.
This guy is earning his spot. more.
Oh, chick, please, not this early in the morning. Oh, my lord.
Is Chick the same person as Mr. Large? They sound the same when they talk to me.
No,
Is
Chick.
that-
It's weird. It depends on how Chick is feeling at times. Sometimes he talks a little bit different. Sauce face sniffy near. Like that.
All right. Okay. So Chick, Mr. Large, that's like 3 different people right there.
Good old Chick.
All right.
Yeah.
Or is that just me being ignorant again?
If the voice seems like it's coming from...
All right, you caught me. I don't know how to speak Goblin.
If the voice is coming from, Dagon's shoulder, it's probably Chick. Is my guess.
More than likely, yes. Oh, so I've got my bindle. Are we all ready? He has his old hammock wrapped up in a bindle with all of his shit.
Always ready to travel.
You guys head over towards where the buoys that are docked over on the side of the shoreline. There's Mead with actually a couple of other ships. They all look like they're actually ready to set sail pretty soon.
Okay.
But they do let you on board. And
Thank God. That'd be awkward.
They let you on board. Mead kind of like ushers you all over to the side as you watch as where the edge of the where the invisibility spell is. You watch as the ship slowly starts to eke in. A very nice oak wood finish junk ship. It's not Vorpal. It doesn't have any like magical essence around it or anything like they promised you before. However, in lieu of that, you actually do notice that a lot of your weaponry on the side of the ship looks like it's been tinkered, almost like how Scrung has tinkered with his gun.
I'm going to investigate that real quick if I can.
Go for it.
14.
14. Luckily enough, it does run on magic. It has to be alchemized into a liquid or some kind of like energy source. So like if you wanted to put in a fire, like a firestone in there, or just had straight up lava from your alchemy jug poured into it,
You don't
the
say.
fire that is put into it, or whatever element is put into it, is applied to the cannonball.
I hear firestones blow out real good.
That's an early 2000s joke.
Jesus Christ, that's a stretch.
Wow.
Only 80-year-old men like me.
That was a joke that was relevant when I was in 6th grade, Ben.
Well, lad, it's about time you give her a name.
Ezra surveys the vessel, looking it over.
Griorchik, das fuss fafanir. No, they are not naming it after you. Versnir.
A humble idea, and I appreciate the suggestion.
It's not from me. Just don't listen to him. He's a bit egotistical. Versnir. Fuck you too.
What about Yelden Part 2, less mimic, more Griorchik?
Yes,
It's too long.
It's a bit of a mouthful, and it
you're right.
doesn't seem to condense into a good initialism or acronym. So
He doesn't mind it, but he likes long words. Shut up!
crew, I think it's time we set sail upon Darum's Folly, is what I shall name this ship.
Lad, I like it. You're naming your vessel after a pox.
Yeah,
Now you're thinking like a pirate.
exactly. If we're going to do this, we're going to do this all the way. The Navy, while they've been accommodating, we've all had some run-ins and some trouble with them, and I at least have someone specific in mind that I kind of want to mess with. So, Darum's Folly.
You say that out loud.
Yes, I do.
Are you trying to hide your secret very well from Mead, or will you allow him, or am I allowing?
I won't hide it too much from him. It's kind of open that I have a problem, and I have already given it a name.
I feel like Mead already knows that last name, like his last name, right?
Oh, he knows, but he doesn't want to. He didn't want to assume in case he wasn't the actual Lockwood he was thinking about.
Gotcha.
With a nat 20,
He's probably pieced it together.
the bastard son.
It's true. I've been avoiding my destiny for a while on this one, but kind of looks around. I think we've started putting together a crew, and I've begun adventuring enough to feel confident in shifting my priorities.
Now, pray tell, lad, why exactly side with us, if that is the case?
Well, as I've stated before, your relative freedom and your desire to solve these problems and letting people handle them in their own way and not be so bogged down with bureaucracy and being incapable of, forging a solution without under the watchful eye of the Navy. I feel like that has ultimately done more harm than good. And while I may have a personal vendetta against certain members of the Navy, I want it to be clear that this isn't just something we're going to hide and going to sneak around with. If we're going to do this, we have to be willing to accept all that means.
hold a lot more responsibility as a pirate than a navyman. To each his own. I like that.
Just kind of gives a humble nod. Your pirates were very quick to jump in and just offer to help, whereas the Navy always seemed like they were looking for their own means and their own ends.
You hear from your new ship. You see as one of Lot's men kind of like pop up. It's the little munchkin one. Well, I mean, you're right. We did kind of steal this one yesterday.
Oh my god, it's so tiny.
Eloy's furiously making notes. A pirate's life for me. Responsibility. We'll do our taxes something. Oh, I'm gonna work on this one. I like it.
Yeah, if there's
File our
if there's one
taxes
thing I,
quarterly, a pirate's life for me.
Oh, dang on, high five.
Yeah.
if there's one thing pirates are known for, it's being responsible. So I figured
Never
in
committing
this,
tax evasion. Never.
So I figured if we were going to shift into this more mature and understanding concept as a crew, we should probably side with the people who are renowned for their being a contributing member of society, the pirates.
Zasselbel said it. They're just looking at you. That sounds patronizing, but that's sweet.
I just didn't want this to look like a half measure, Zatsamel. We've only recently met, but I've worked with your colleagues and esteemed associates plenty of times, and I just want to make sure that I'm not making any sort of shady deals here.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You said that you boys are on your way to Iberkal, yes?
Correct.
Unfortunately.
She laughs at you when you say that out loud.
Yes.
Oh. This poor boy's gonna get sent to torch planes because of you.
It's going to be amazing. Yes, I love it.
Well, he seems excited.
Well, torch planes. That sounds like a well-lit place.
You want to roll a history check with advantage there?
Yeah, sure. I have so many d20s, I can do this in general. History check is a 19.
That'll give you this whole thing.
Yeah.
Let me go ahead and give you this as quickly as I can. Let's see. Oh, here we go. The Torch Tongue Plateau, which is in which the inner canals of said plateau worm into a near insurmountable journey that often leads travelers to their doom or to be snatched up by possible Underdark slavers. The Torch Tongue Plateau is where the extinguished Azamar or criminals of the kingdom of Iberkal are sentenced to escape from. If they make it out of the plateau's canals alive, then truly they must be innocent of their crimes.
Yeah, they threw me there. It's not a lot of fun. So I went on and just decided to raid all their ships.
All right. You're a man with moxie, and I can respect that.
Don't fuck with me is all I say.
Well, you've given me no reason to fuck with you so far.
I try not to.
I appreciate it.
If that's the case, you wouldn't mind keeping an ear out for any news about the Rumbloods, would you? We have the last time we had any contact with one of our captains of part of our little group here, Lady Siren. Last we heard, she was in Iberkal, but we lost contact with her about 5 months ago.
I can definitely keep an ear to the ground and make sure any information we're given is...
Is that Zoslamel saying this?
Yes.
Yeah. As stated previously, my lady, I would gladly offer assistance for, well, your assistance. Hold up the scarred marks on Chick.
Oh, sweetheart, is that giving you trouble? Is that the problem?
He doesn't like it when I sleep most of the time. And I like to sleep. Also, it's really awkward trying to pick up people, never mind, that's a me problem.
She pulls out her sword. She walks over to you. May I?
Absolutely. Nis.
You watch as your sword starts to blaze up into an ethereal flame. In like self-defense, and Zasabel's just sitting there. Oh, that's adorable.
Isn't it?
She takes her blade, takes it from the hilt, and cuts it across as you hear in your head, your chick is screaming in agony.
Oh my god.
You're feeling it too, though. You feel as though like that slit just went across your back.
He's just. But at least I know you feel it too, bitch.
They have such a strange relationship.
She actually pulls what looks like a little piece of flesh that almost turned into the stone of the hilt. And she hands you back the sword. I'll look into this.
Cool.
You just hear nothing but ethereal screaming, agony, rage, and curse words you never knew existed.
That's a new one. In what context is that one used? Obviously this one, but what others?
Based on the voice I heard holding that sword, you wouldn't happen to know anything about the wandering eyes of the ocean, would you?
Intelligence check or history check of 12? Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. 10? It's -1, not +1.
You remember your encounter with Gjorchik, that there was a huge, massive eye and tentacles going at you when you were obtaining him for the first time, when you were trying to fight him off for your own soul. That sounds familiar, but based on the event of that occurred, you can't really give a full physical description.
I mean, Chick has a lot of eyes sometimes when he feels like it.
Excellent. I'll have some more info for you much later.
Wonderful. I'm so glad we met.
Again, just constant curse words that don't make sense.
You have a mouth on you today.
I thought he had a mouth on him every day.
I just thought he had an eye.
You just watch as the one side of the hilt, like the little poultice where the hilt is, it's just a giant mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the way I describe it is like a little xenomorph mouth. Just, no!
Well, that's disturbing, but I guess this is what we get for signing up with this guild and just getting everybody we can.
Oh, he'll be fine as long as he gets a soul in him. He'll be chipper.
Well, with that in mind, gentlemen, I think walking out with one of the Navy's previously owned vessels would not be wise. So when you feel you are ready to leave right, you can leave over here. Through the blanket of the buoy's invisibility, you can make your escape without anyone detecting you.
Excellent, thank you. We'll try to time our we'll try to time our departure to make sure there aren't too many curious eyes about.
Make it quick, lad. We're just on our way as well. Probably before the night's end.
All right. Well, once I'm sure our crew is gathered and settled in, we'll probably hit the seas.
All right. So what are you guys gonna do at this point?
I'm going to go drop my shit off in a room where I can have a bunk.
Like I said, this ship is much smaller than your previous brig. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. Allergies are kicking in again. I apologize. I have a shitload of little Ricolas here for that case. The ship is way smaller, but you do have 8 rooms for yourselves. The captain has a larger room for himself where he keeps his meetings and everything. He doesn't have a bed there, but he could have one transferred there if he so chose to.
The captain's quarters always available.
Yep. You have a galley. You also have a small little dining room for a cargo hold, a small little dining room, and the captain's quarters also has a small little dining area as well. So if you all wanted to have this big old meeting, you'd probably have it at the captain's quarters. Like I said, the cannons are made of obsidian, and they look like they are tinkered to have something be administered into them. Not just the cannonball itself, but up at the top, it's like a small little funnel that looks like it's an incinerator of sorts, but it's run on some kind of magic crystal.
Captain Ezra, do I get a quarters again?
Yeah, we've got rooms for like everyone in the crew will get their own room. Yes.
Awesome. Hey, Eloy just says to the air, can I get like a little like Donkey Man sigil? Oh.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. This is gonna take some. I'm sorry.
That's all right, Eloy.
Did I make it weird?
No, it's fine. Maybe like I'm going to do a quick look. Anyone who wasn't on the Yeldon, so any of our newer crew members, are they around? Did they?
Apart from you and Eloy, no one else is here.
Okay. Nah, it doesn't seem like anyone else heard you or anything, and I know what you were going for.
I heard you.
What was that?
Do I see where that came from?
Want to roll a perception check?
Sure.
Got an 11.
12.
Nope.
Grammy?
15. Oh, wait, no, 13. Sorry. Wait, no, I do have, 15.
15?
Yeah, I have a
You
proficiency.
turn your head around, you see You see a gold and a green hand and a very long nose looking over the side of the ship as it sinks down.
Chick, watch your language. It's your new friend.
I mean, she's not technically supposed to be on this boat, but as its captain, I'm not going to stop her.
I just feel comforted knowing she's watching.
I can't be stopped.
That's kind of why I wasn't going to bother trying.
I couldn't help it over here. Did you want something carved in your door?
I mean, it was just a thought.
I mean, I could be of assistance, perhaps.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great. Just a little, like...
Your rooms are all equipped with at least one dresser, one closet, one trunk, and one halfway decent bed. Not the best, but it'll get you some good sleep over a rough seabed.
Bad.
Chick, I know you're a little upset, but would you mind, letting Bjorn out real quick? I cast Unseen Servant, and the ghost of the former wood craftsman of my of Dagon's previous ship starts carving the shit you want.
Oh, that is so cool. Could you give him like a little set of bongos on the side? Oh my god, that's amazing.
He turns around. All right, I need you to roll an intelligence check because your servant...
For Unseen Servant?
No. For the servant to draw what he wants.
Okay. Is this with my stats? Because this would be like a... Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, that's not bad, though. 19... Or, 18.
18? He gets exactly what you want.
Oh, that's great. Oh my god, how'd you do that?
The servant turns to you. His face is completely gone. It's just a skeleton looking at you.
Chip keeps all of his previous victims on call, let's say. It's okay, Bjorn. It's okay. It's okay.
How'd you fucking touch me?
I'm not touching you. I can't touch you. This is not... It's not easy for me either. At
His
least
chick opens the hilt of his mouth and he goes back.
You ever feel bad about that?
Oh. Every day.
Okay.
That's why I'm happy to let them out sometimes.
So long as you're not guiltlessly doing this and enjoying their their capture.
No, absolutely
Okay,
not.
then fine. Then just wanted to make sure.
I just think it's nice to let them out because I don't know what Chick does to them in there.
That's true. This just seems awfully close to slave labor, and I had a traveling companion who really had a problem with that.
It kind of is, but
And
it's...
to be entirely honest, I'm not exactly okay with it. I don't think I hated it as much as he did, but
I trust me, I am not a fan of slavers either. I have met a few. They're not nice people.
all right. Just hey, we're just getting to know each other. It's
You
just
remember
new
quite a
crew.
few drow who lived in the plateau who tried to get their hands on you.
Yeah, they're real pieces of shit.
All right. Well, just
And that was before I had Chick.
I'm just saying that maybe some folks might get a little squeamish with you summoning souls about. So just
Well, if you have anything you need done, he'll let me do this for like the next hour, so...
I'm just saying, maybe pay attention to your surroundings. It worked out because it was just us, but I don't know. In public,
I
that
normally
might...
only do it when I'm by myself.
Oh, okay, perfect.
I figured, you know what, I'll be open and honest, and everybody just kind of learns everything up front.
No, I thank you for that, because now I'm aware of it.
Just try not to die near me.
Okay.
No promises.
A specific request, but one I will try to adhere to.
I don't mean that just in the sense, like, I like you, and it would really hurt me to see you die, but I don't think you want that.
No, that seems like for lack of a better term, a fate worse than death.
Yes,
so
probably.
I appreciate your concern.
He used to have a face.
Eloy, if we're ever in danger, just try to make some space between you and him. What are we talking? Like 20 feet, 30 feet?
You
I
look-
am actually unsure.
You'll see the eye staring directly at you, like Eye of Sauron style.
He does have a soft side. I
think he likes you. Great.
No, I don't think that's a good thing.
Okay. I didn't think so either. I was just being polite.
You hear "Give me the buffoon" in his voice.
Yes, he likes you.
Both buffoons.
He likes both of you.
Oh, see? Well, welcome aboard. I hope you enjoy your stay on Darum's Folly.
Well, the folly shall make a fine home.
I agree. I'm going to just real quick, kind of walk through the ship and see if anyone else has arrived from our crew, how they're setting
no,
up?
like you guys just went to go check out the ship. You would have to
Okay,
go
all
back to the guild home to get them everyone
Gotcha.
else.
Okay. Didn't know if...
But you're pretty much just checking out the ship at this point. You you do have some of your provisions. Like some people have actually come by to grab your stuff and bring it over because Father Dorn's pretty good at upkeeping shit like that. So a good portion of your guys' stuff is on there. Your provisions, your equipment, stuff to keep the ship afloat, keep it on repair. That's all there. That was just all the personal quarters and everything that needs to be put together.
Okay. I looked at Eloy real quick. Did we confirmed, right, it was with Nedra and Wake?
I mean,
Yes.
they did take them with them. They said they hadn't seen it in a while.
Okay.
But, I mean, he
But they-
definitely wasn't on the Yeldon.
If I recall correctly, they mentioned that it was hanging out with Jen, and I would.
That's
She's
right.
an.
Well, we need to make our way to
interesting
the
person.
guild house anyway. Maybe while we're there, we can speak to her about it if I happen to see her. Because we should probably start heading out soon.
She has taken quite a shine to that tiefling girl, so if you are looking for either of them, you'll probably find them in the same place.
I'd love to be concerned about that, but to be fair, Nedra's just a really likable girl. This might just be nothing.
I mean, anything might be nothing.
True.
Yes.
Indeed.
But yeah, after just doing a quick once around the ship, just getting his bearings, making sure he knows where stuff is, Ezra is gonna be probably heading towards.
You
the
do
guild
notice
house.
one thing though.
Okay.
Want to roll me an investigation check
Sure
real
thing.
quick?
7.
You want
Maybe I
everybody to
don't
roll it?
notice.
Yeah, you guys might also want to do that as well. Everything seems tip-top shape to you.
Yeah. All right. Captain is satisfied with this ship.
I'm assuming very little help with my 5.
I'm assuming even less help with my unnatural 0. I'm
Great.
just having one of my unseen servants giving me a back rub. Oh, that feels good. Thank you, Samantha.
Grammy, if you're around, is everything up to snuff for you?
It's wood. It floats.
All right. I like the sound.
She has no fucking idea. She doesn't know how it.
Hey, I have no fucking idea that she has no fucking idea.
All right. Well, in that case,
This will go
We'll have tons of time on that ship.
Don't worry,
to-
we'll get a shipwright on the ship, and
Yeah.
they'll be able to look at
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Hopefully, fucking Mr. Large or someone.
Jillian.
Yeah, or Jillian will know. Or maybe there's nothing to know and Zito's just throwing us a red herring. That face says no, but
all right. So you head back over to the guild hall. The rest of your previous crew is there because they know that you guys are going to be leaving, but your new crew is waiting to say, "All right, well, where do we dock?"
I give them directions to where the ship is, also letting them know that, hey, you might not, if it doesn't look like it's there, don't worry.
Captain, Wake says, walking up to you.
Wake, hey!
Yeah, I heard you guys were leaving today. You mentioned that. Who's this guy? Hello, Huxley, Dagon Huxley. Nice to. Do you mind? Oh no, by all means, I'll
stand over here.
I'll stand over here. Oh, this is Chick. Neat.
Yeah, he's one of our new recruits. He, I know it seems a little curious with the sword and everything,
Yeah, I
but
think it's kind of creepy.
Yeah.
What's the deal with that?
so it might steal souls or something. But Dagon seems to have it under control right
You see,
now.
so, like you know, like that fucking Tom meme where he's holding the newspaper. There's Risk.
Looking up.
Yeah, just look it up.
Oh, well, I'll try to read into that as little as possible. I just thought these might be useful for you guys. And Wake hands over the teleporting pyramids.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Ah, the Blink Pyramids.
Yes.
good call, actually. Thank you for grabbing these.
Yeah, got them from Ziaka before we, left. Feels like so long ago.
It really does, doesn't it?
And Eloy,
Yeah.
I feel bad, leaving without... I know you have a lot of instruments on you already, but... Just as a sign of, I'll see you again. I hand you a small wrapped parcel.
Do I open it now?
Yeah, go
No,
ahead.
you can only open it next Tuesday on stream.
I open it up.
Well, we're gonna follow that
It's,
rule like we always do. Go ahead and open it, Eloy.
It's Wake's mother's mini harp.
Oh my. Are you sure?
Yeah. Like I said, this isn't goodbye forever.
All right. I'll take good care of it, and I'll bring it back when I see you next.
It gets a little off tune if you stay out at sea for too long, but it's should be fine.
Well, gosh, thanks, Wake. You know, it's just really weird. I hadn't really thought about it up till now, but you know, good luck here. I'm really proud of you. You've changed a lot since I met you, and I think you're gonna be okay.
Hey, you know what, Wake? I got something for you too.
Oh?
Eloy gets into his saddlebags and hands over. Speaking of things I've had in my inventory for freaking ever. In case. No, not in case. For when you see Calliope again. Filter of love.
Ooh.
Tunk. Ooh.
Yeah, it's. I haven't had no use for it, but it's potent. I think it's cologne.
I'll have to dab that on, I guess, if I get some spare time to travel a few 100 miles south.
We're gonna go fight a giant rock, says Nedra.
Oh.
That's another thing entirely.
Well, that
we'll,
sounds
we'll,
fun.
we'll figure that out, and we're going to go punch rocks, though. It's part of our training.
Nice.
High five, Nedra.
High five!
Ha! Oh, also, these were part of my whole vengeance shtick, but now that that's kind of been thrown out the window, I think you might be able to find better use for these. And I hand you over a small leather bag. Careful how you touch these. You might remember them.
Are these with a aid in investigation? Are these the handcuffs?
Yeah, these are the Evergrudge manacles.
Okay.
I made them specifically for Zoslamel. But
Oh,
now that
wow,
that's out
these-
the window.
Yeah, I'll make sure to definitely put these somewhere safe. And
I never understood how people balance those on their eye.
no, that's
Try not
that's
to do that with these.
That's a monocle. These are manacles. It's
Oh,
They're like-
they're for gentlemen.
Yeah, like,
not
sure.
Well, some
but
gentlemen. Actually,
less-
typically not very gentle. men.
less gentle.
Yeah.
Man, I feel bad. I feel like I'm going to tear apart this rapport.
It's all right, Dagon. There's room in this conversation.
Meanwhile,
for a
there's
fourth.
Mr. Large just looking at you and just looks at Dagon.
Shrugs.
Yeah, he shrugs with like the fucking rock grinding sound effect.
All right, well, you guys take care.
Thank you, Wake. You keep yourself out of trouble and protect Nedra. And Nedra, you protect Wake. You guys need each other.
I can promise at least one of those things.
Roll a con save, both of you.
Con save.
3?
16.
Oh, wait, 4. Not good, whatever it's going to be.
No, because Nedra just went in there for a big old group hug. You expected there to be way more force to this.
Oh, wow, okay.
But all it is just her picking you up into the hug and then putting you back down.
Thanks, Nedra. I'll see you soon, okay?
She's starting to pick up on the whole restraint thing.
I'm very impressed.
It's so weird.
I know, it's hard.
I know.
But the
Well-
more you can restrain yourself, the more you can focus. And then you can hit harder when you don't have to restrain yourself.
Ezra hugs back. He wants to
Nice.
make sure it is a clearly reciprocated, like, hey,
Right
you know
on.
what? This is not, you're not squeezing me. I am not, like, flinching in your grasp. I am actively embracing this.
Right on. Everyone else who's there, Risk and Pliskin, kind of just like look to the lot of you and look to you as well. Just give you
them
a nice salute.
I was going to say, I give them, like, a casual nod, salute, greeting, like, hey, I like you too.
Also looks like left and right. He looks over at Risk and Pliskin and tries to imitate, and he fails miserably with like only 2 fingers, and he uses the wrong hand.
I have a big smile on my face to make sure he doesn't feel weird in case he notices that he's messing it up.
He doesn't give a shit.
Good.
Scrung is looking at you with a cigarette. He actually holds up his hand that he's holding the cigarette. It's the prosthetic arm.
Oh. I point at him. Keep out of trouble.
Not a chance. Found a way back home.
Nice. I'm looking forward to hearing about it.
Well, gotta do some good old-fashioned murder, but nothing goblins can't handle.
Yes, is not. No, we can't stay here.
He looks over to you. You keep the new guy at bay, huh?
I'll try my best.
Can you get a message to us when you get where you're going? Let us know you got there safe? Is that a thing? I don't know how these things work.
If I get my ring back, I'll be able to do a lot more than what I'm capable of right now.
All right. I would like to know that things turned out okay for you.
If I get my ring back, I'll make sure that you know specifically out of everyone else, Eloy.
Thank you.
He has like the biggest shit-eating grin on his face.
Just imagine it pops in the middle of the night while Eloy's sleeping. Look at this, you motherfucker. You kept this from me.
Despite your best efforts, I succeeded, Eloy!
And just like a portal opens up, he just looks over you while you're sleeping. Hey, you big dummy! What? Bucket of water.
I could have had this months ago.
He does the perpetual motion portal on the floor, portal on the ceiling. Eloy's just falling forever.
Puts a port on the side of the ship, rockets him out into sea.
Now you're thinking with portals.
There you go.
Even Red's there too. She like kind of gives you like a curtsy bow. Well, Captain, thank you. I can't say that our adventure has been uneventful. So, for what it was worth, it was an enjoyable one. Something to write down for the Volition for quite some time.
Thank you, and I hope that we're able to settle all of this business. Well, you know, just kind of like gives a general. You understand what I
She holds
mean.
up a glass of wine. Oh boy, do I ever!
Don't worry, I'll be here to keep everybody in line.
That's good. You two always did work really well together.
I always thought so.
Good luck. You stay out of trouble, especially. You know how dangerous this is, right? As Red's looking at you specifically.
Dagon or Wake?
Dagon.
No, also, I don't believe we've met. Huxley, Dagon Huxley.
Oh, my mother has told me a lot about you, Mr. Huxley.
Charmed. Kisses her hand.
Thanks.
Yeah. Ooh, spicy.
Yeah, you put your lips onto the back of her head. You feel like it's. Well, considering that, well, what you are, best be careful if you're near the Acropolis.
This with advantage, or?
Sure.
Okay. So with my int stat, I need advantage. 14.
The Acropolis is the center of the entire city, where all the Aasimar actually live. You were ousted out of that at a very young age, so you only lived in a place that was outside of it called the Ring of Mortals. So you know of it, you just know you can't get inside.
Yeah, best to, I don't know. Maybe if it's official business, who knows?
Especially since they know she looks to you. Well, I guess if you're with them, and especially if they know the king, I suppose they'll let you slide by.
Hard to say. Been so long. Maybe I'll see my old family. Then again, I don't know who the fuck they are, nor do I care.
A pirate's life for me.
Yeah.
Responsibility.
Drink up me hearty's yo-ho.
So Eloy, at this point, having seen Dagon, a fallen Aasimar, and seen quite a few regular Aasimar, he's got proficiency with his disguise kit. He's trying to size him up. Would he be able, with a mundane disguise,
Yeah,
to
throw me into whiteface.
Yeah, would he be able to whiteface him? Does he feel like he might be able to do a credible job of that?
My eyes are pitch black.
You can
Or not pitch black, never mind,
You
that's only when I
can do
transform.
that, but considering that the Extinguished are a race of Aasimar that have lost their faith or their basic guiding purpose, the fact that he doesn't like have any like huge tie or religious tie to Selima anymore, they would spot that on the dime.
I was born this way, so that's fun.
So, to the untrained eye in the Ring of Mortals, probably yes. In the Acropolis, absolutely not.
Okay. Aasimars know Aasimars. Got it.
All right, and with that, you everyone else that you know just like gives you like a curtsy and
Real quick before I leave, I look to Wake. I just wanted to clear up one thing real quick. We had talked about it, and
Yeah.
If you guys had seen, if you'd seen them recently, have you seen it around at least like in the last like day or so? I know last time we talked.
You see Gentle turn the corner with it in her arms.
Wake would have actively taken measures to try to get it back, by the way, at this point. If it was an actual concern.
If it was an actual concern, but at this point it just looks like when Nedra's off doing her training or doing something else, she kind of just hands it off to Gentle.
I'll try to be a little more careful about that.
You just watch as she holds up a stick of rock candy and it's nomming on it as crazy as he can.
Oh, there's it. All right. Just walks over to Gentle, basically acting like, oh, my friend. Like,
Yeah, Dagon will go with you. Hello,
Think of it-
Jen. How are you doing?
Hello, Dagon. Are you going to get their souls this time?
Oh, who knows? As long as if I can keep them alive, it should be fine.
You know, if you start a war, please let me know.
Oh, you're the first person I call.
Excellent.
hey, hi, Gentle.
She turns and looks to you like, like the Ashley Stone face from WarioWare?
Okay.
That's what she's giving you right now, but just with a half smile.
yeah, that's the charm that almost
That's the
got you
face.
on our ship.
That almost got you an interview.
I just wanted to make sure that you were taking care of my former mascot here, and I just kind of like give it a little scratch behind ears, back of
He
head,
just
whatever.
snaps his head and looks to you when you do that. He's still giving you that big stupid grin.
Okay.
He's happy. He's having a grand old time. He's eating honey and he looks to you. Did you know honey comes in different flavors?
Really?
She showed me.
Wow, that's fascinating.
This one is red honey.
Oh,
You can also infuse honey with things as well, and it also depends on the flowers.
What?
Yeah.
It turns and looks.
Oh yeah, we've actually hired on a chef onto our new ship who is just kind of a master in crafting desserts in particular.
You just watch as it kind of like looks to you, like grabby hands towards you, like uppies, give uppies.
Hey, I'd love to take you with me, and I kind of motion towards Gentle, but it looks like you found a new friend, and I don't want to break that up.
Okay, sure. I guess.
Anyway, just wanted to make sure you were doing okay. It nice to see you again. Kind of gives a little pet. And,
Well, not anymore now that I know that I'm not getting the maximum honey anymore.
well, kind of shoots a glance at Gentle, then back at it. You could always come with us.
No, he can't. I can't? No, you can't.
Why
I'll
not?
let you in on a secret. Some of the centaur tribes keep beehives.
That must be a coral stump thing. That was never
You didn't tell me.
that was never a stonky donk thing.
I've never been up to the mountain tribes, honestly. I only know the ones lower plains.
Stone hooves, who the hell knows what they do up there?
You just watch as he kind of like newts his way down Gentle's leg and back up Nedra's. We're going.
I just wanted to make sure these friends weren't split up. So it's good to see you again, and kind of gives like a nod to Gentle. Gentle, good luck with everything you do.
I guess we'll make a stop at the beehives before we go punch those rocks.
Good. He like starts rubbing his little newt hands.
I give his little head, or Wake gives a little head. It's like a little pets.
A pet.
He's adorable.
He really is.
Akari poses.
Somehow gets glasses.
Yep.
But all right, just wanted to make sure it was safe and everyone was good. Thanks so much for coming out and seeing us.
Yep.
Of course.
Everyone like just obviously is there to say like thank you, goodbye, all this other nonsense, and
All this sappy shit.
all this sappy shit. Yeah. No, they've told you their plan. Strong's gonna continue on with finding Grosswort. Risp is gonna look into what he is a little bit more. Pliskin, now actually working with Risp, thinks that there might actually be some kind of correlation to his curse and whatever happened to Risp, so they're gonna look into that together. Red is taking a well-deserved vacation after doing this fucking trip for almost like a decade of her life.
Yeah. Fair.
Onslow will tell you that he's gonna go off with Relieve. They're gonna go hunt stuff. If by some reason that Nedra and Wake ever go up the mountainside and need backup, they will give their assistance in taking any wildlife that comes their way. Grammy, you don't know where. She's not here.
Grammy gone.
Yeah, Grammy, as far as I'm concerned, is everlasting and omnipresent. So she is doing everything and nothing all at the same time.
All right, so you got everyone with their materials and their equipment. Frank is here. Let's see. Let me go back up this list here. Yep, Frank, Mr. Large, Jillian, Charlotte, and I don't believe there was anyone else you added on this list, correct?
Frank, Jillian, Mr. Large, Charlotte. Sounds about right.
Yeah, no, that
And
is
Frida.
correct.
Oh, Frida
And
Gasmar.
Frida,
There we
that's
go.
Yep. So everyone's all there with their equipment. They're all there with their backpacks and everything. They're just waiting on you to take them to their ship.
All right. I kind of wave at them and go like, "Hello, welcome, new wonders. Are you prepared to jump on our new ship?"
Jillian and oh god, I'm sorry. God.
Frida?
No, not Frida. Jillian and Charlotte, I apologize. Jillian and Charlotte are both just like, yeah, they're all prepped and ready to go. They seem like they're excited to get on a ship and start doing something. Frida, very well. Just like taps her fingers together. Her bony ass fucking Skeletor like fingers together.
Point of order, new crew. Is anyone here a secret dragon?
Thank you, Eloy. A very important point to bring up.
Just get it out of the way. Just you have to tell me if you're a secret dragon.
I mean, those are the rules, and I just give like a big, like clearly joking wink to like the crew, like as to be like, "Come on, play along."
Sleight of hand.
All right. 25.
I do not perceive this.
Everyone else just kind of goes, no, we don't believe we are. Like, Frank's just sitting there, like, patting himself down. No scales here. You maybe should ask him. And there's Shar just sitting there in the corner. Ha ha.
All right, just making sure. Thank you.
I might be, says Frida with a toothy grin.
Oh, neat. Okay, you say might. What leads you to believe that that's a possibility? Everybody I've met so far already knowed if they was or wasn't.
I've operated on drakes before. I've taught them the way of pain.
Okay, like operated like medically.
Sure.
I believe part of me has some of that as well. I have done blood transfusion before for experimentation.
Okay, neat. Did that give you any? Could you breathe fire? Because I only did that the once, and boy, it was neat.
She can do a lot of things. A lot of things.
She just smiles at you. We'll leave that to mystery then. This will be a fun trip, Captain.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it.
Everyone, Mr. Large, actually like you don't see his face, but he just like kind of just like leans to the side when she's talking like that. And with that, you have everyone there.
All right, then I lead them to where the ship is.
Dagon's gonna familiarize himself with the helm, see how it like spins, how many rotations it takes to get all the way to one side, all the way to the other.
Excellent. Mr. Large will be there assisting you as well. I'd like you to roll an investigation with advantage.
Okay. $14.
All right, I'm gonna roll for Mr. Large.
Oh wait, no, 15. Sorry, wait, no, I
15?
have proficiency in the 17. I have proficiency in investigation.
Do you have a vehicle as a proficiency?
Yes, I have vehicles, water specifically.
Okay, give me that roll as well.
Oh,
Like just as a
just
double.
okay.
Because Mr. Large has that as well.
That is a 17. Again, wow.
Oh yeah, with that vehicle check with you and Large, you both realize there's no anchor.
Captain,
Yes.
found an issue. You know how we like moving on ships, yes?
Yeah, they're typically for transportation.
Do you also like stopping?
Well, that's an important part of transportation is stopping at your destination.
Yes, I've noticed an issue here, and I am frankly shocked that it hasn't become an issue as of until now.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have an anchor.
Well, that can't be right. I go to look wherever an
Yeah.
anchor would be.
You see that there is no on the top of the ship. There normally is a small crank that allows for the anchor to go up the side. It's not there. And you look over to the left, you look over to the right, there is no anchor. But strangely enough, the ship is not like moving away. It's actually staying in place.
Yeah, I was really trying to figure out exactly how this is happening, and yeah, those ropes are doing a nice job tying into the dock, but normally there's some sway.
Yeah, that's.
AJ, come out. We know there's some dead weight holding us down. Come out, AJ.
No, Eloy, I don't think that's it.
Somebody really must have hurt you.
He's normally never like this, but just the thought of this guy can send him to a different place.
Right.
It was either going to be that or a Mr. McSlander's mama joke, but I did a lot of those last time.
It works. It works a lot.
Do you guys want to... what will you do to try to investigate this matter? Remember, of the places I said that are on this ship.
I'm going to...
I would check below deck, probably near the cargo hold, somewhere near the back of the ship, probably. Just looking for any sort of magical device or internal anchor.
Okay, well, with that, I would need you to roll an investigation check with disadvantage.
Disadvantage, all right. 16 or 18 versus a 12.
All right, 12. You don't see anything in the cargo hold. You actually, like, when you went down the stairs, you went completely into the back. You didn't go past, you left the galley to go into the cargo hold. It just looks like a big space to place a whole bunch of empty boxes, and there's a couple of chests in there, but nothing that implies that there's like a chain link that is attached to anything on the side of the ship.
I was walking around. I could fit a lot of hammocks in here.
I'm going to investigate the captain's
There's-
quarters.
there's
see if
actually-
there's anything in there.
Okay, but they're actually, you say that, as a joke, I'm going to say this out loud. There are chests that are big enough to fit a couple of bodies in.
Just in case.
I'm gonna open one. Is it empty?
Yes.
Okay, good. I like that you had to roll for that.
So what were you going to do?
I'm just going to investigate in the captain's quarters, see if there's anything in there for, like, magic anchor.
All right, you didn't go into the captain's quarters before. Let me describe this
Yes,
shit
please
to you.
do.
Red carpet drapery.
Hell yeah.
Giant, like, you know, like, the 1980s, like, kind of like stained glass bar aesthetic, like, window?
Okay.
That's the windows all around this entire place. You have a giant desk that has a globe of that. Does it look like it has a lot of on it? Like, it looks like when you turn it, it's like here be dragons, or like it's all just like that cartographer's yellow paper. But when you move it back up to where like right is, it's actually giving you a location of it.
Okay.
Like, it's giving you a visual of where you are.
Oh, so I got, like, specifically on the globe, I can see where I am? Or
Yes.
Okay.
You can't tell, but if you want to try to investigate how that works, you can, but let me continue on with how this works. You have a couple of, you actually have a wet bar, kind of just like sitting off to the side.
Okay.
There are actually some very, very nice and old bottles of rum and wine, Elven. Like, this shit's like 800 years old wine.
Okay. Ready to party. Got it.
You have a giant table that it's pretty much this poker table, but like super long. It fits everyone on the ship. Maybe fitting about like 3 or 4 more people if you have extra.
Okay.
You have a shelf full of books. A lot of them look like they're naval literature. Some of them actually are a little bit of historical lore about certain locations around the area.
Okay.
And you have a jeweled stand that has a glass opening that you could fit what looks like what was supposed to be a weapon there.
Okay, so like just to have a weapon on display.
However, on the center of the entire table, it looks like there's this giant, what almost looks like swaying orb that kind of like spins. Like, you know how in a fountain where there's an orb and the water is pushing the rock to spin a little bit? Mm-hmm. It looks like that. But there is no water, but it looks like something is rippling on the surface of this rock, and it's dead center in the middle of the table.
Well, I'm going to look at that.
How will you do so?
I'm just going to investigate it and just sort of like just see if I can tell anything unique about it or how it's presenting itself like that with an 18.
You can press down on it. Like, you feel like there's a pressure plate underneath it that if you press down, it will activate something, but you don't know what.
Okay. I am going to, before I just hit this, I'm going to gather the crew and into the captain's quarters.
All right. Everyone comes on in. Everyone's everyone's kind of impressed. Everyone except for Frida and Mr. Large are impressed about what they're looking at right now.
This is fantastic. You know, below deck, we have like 3 casket-sized chests, right?
Ah, plenty of space for treasure, I say, trying to get into
Yes.
the pirate gig mindset.
Yes.
Well, so I was exploring these here quarters, and I found this curiosity. I point at the globe. To be entirely honest, this captain's quarters is a bit fancier than most of the ships I've inhabited. Anyone know exactly what this is? It seems like it's a mechanism of some sort, but I don't want to just hit it without knowing what it'll do.
Ooh, nat 20. Dagon might have an idea.
Nat 20. Placing your hand on it.
Well, let's see.
You're pretty
Nat
much.
20. I'll try it.
No, Nat 20. You actually press down on it. You're like, oh, it is a pressure plate, and then you hear a chain link give way. But then you pull your hand up, and the chain link returns and also stops.
So it's like a hand-operated clink back.
Okay.
So I'm guessing it has to go all the way up, or else
It'll
somebody's
just
going to have to
return?
be here the entire time while we're sailing.
Well, no, when you press down, do you press down all the way? Because you've only been doing it midway, and it's been making that noise.
I'll press down all the way.
Press down all the way. It locks
tied
in
to a
place.
dock.
It locks in place and begins to spin in a different direction. It goes backwards. After a few minutes, everyone starts hearing a metal, clinging. And then finally, something hits the bottom of the ship and kind of rocks it a little bit. And you start to move.
Hey, I think we found our anchor.
I should probably get up to the helm.
Seems like a good idea.
Mr. Large kind of holds his hand up.
Yes, Mr. Large.
He pulls out a little notepad and starts writing it down. Very nice calligraphy, by the way. Hands it off to you.
I take the paper. Hey, in future reference, you can just start writing and just hand it to me. I don't have to give you permission.
He'll make a note of that. It says that he saw something similar in the galley.
Okay, all right. Well, then I'm going to say that this is how this works, and that we also have the option to use it in the galley.
Yep.
So
In my personal, he writes down another note. In my personal experience, this might be the emergency stop for the captain.
gotcha. All
It'd be
right.
real convenient if we had one of these by the helm.
Well, there is one in the galley, and you don't know about checking out the helm. You didn't go look over there.
I did. I absolutely
Oh,
did.
right,
That was the
right.
first thing
Fuck.
I did.
I apologize.
That's where he went.
I apologize. It's in the galley because that's where the actual chain is. This is just an extra pulley.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Gotcha. So I have the emergency stop. There's also the
Captain
one
has
in the galley.
emergency stop. It's actually below deck.
Okay. All right. Well, glad we solved that mystery. Consider this the first joint task of the Natural Wonders Phase 2.
You just see
Discovering the anchor.
you see Jillian.
Woo!
Yeah. Love that enthusiasm, Jill.
Charlotte just giggles at how stupid that was. And Frida.
Don't worry, Frida. We're gonna get you to crack a smile before the end of this journey.
If one of you loses an arm, I'll smile greatly.
Well, all right. Something to look forward to.
I mean, from experience, there is a non-zero chance of that happening.
You hear off in the distance.
Just a cursing goblin in the wind.
Mr. Large holds his ears up. Hands you a note. Did you hear that? Someone has a very foul mouth.
I have a feeling I know who it was.
Above deck, I have my. Let's see, which one am I having do this? I have several different invisible servants. Yes, Jeb.
Good old Joe.
Yeah, good old Jeb is running the ropes for me right now, so we can get out to sea.
Assisting you on that is let me double check. Assisting you on that is Charlotte and Mr. Large.
And Jeb. Good old Jeb.
Good old Jeb. Charlotte's a little concerned about ethereal ghost pal just wandering about, touching ropes and shit.
Hey, don't worry about it. It's like we've got extra crew members that we don't even really have to, like, pay.
It's
Or feed.
yes, it's just that I'm sorry. I kind of have a thing with the supernatural when it comes to hearing voices, and I can hear nothing but sadness coming from this man.
He is very sad.
I look over at Jeb.
He wasn't much better in life, sadly.
You like music? You like jaunty work tune? Or...
There we go. Eloy, this crew hasn't gotten to experience some of your fantastic music. I hadn't even thought about that.
Come on, Jeb, enjoy the sunshine while we can. Yeah. Those were happy sobs.
I mean, I do what
Frank
I can.
kind of like holds his hand up to everyone. Well, with that nonsense out of the way, has anyone eaten yet today?
I had some breakfast earlier, but looked at the sun. What time is it?
It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
But you know, I think we're due for some lunch.
Well, all right. Give me one moment. He heads back down. You start seeing smoke come out of one of the little portholes on the side of the ship. Looks like Frank's ready to go.
I rush downstairs to make sure everything's okay. Smoke in the kitchen? This can only be bad.
Nah, boy's on his way with some omelets and
Oh.
shit. They
Sorry, I'm just used to our former chef. Anytime there was smoke, I was worried there was a roaring flame somewhere.
You look out. You say that you feel your sins crawl up your spine.
A chill runs through my blood.
Look out towards the window. There's Grammy.
You know what you did.
Wait,
She holds her finger to her mouth. It sinks.
You're not even supposed to be here.
So Frank, how's lunch coming?
Mr. Motion, may I make a special request?
Absolutely. What would you like?
In honor of our ultimate destination, may I order an eels crepe? An eels crepe.
I get it! Yells
Unagi.
Dagon.
Coming right up, Eloy.
We have fun. Oh no, your crepe is terrible.
It's full of eels.
Half orc humor. He throws an eel at you. And it's wrapped in a panini grill roll.
I take a big old bite.
Roll a con save.
Not phased in the slightest. This is what I asked for. I deserve whatever I get.
This is literally
18.
what he requested.
Frank kind of just like holds his hand out. Just like, wait, no, I was kidding.
Oh.
Okay. Well, I hear there are those in Eel's Gape that actually do find delicacy in raw fish.
Oh, is this right? I didn't even... You're a genius,
It's
man.
still wiggling.
Oh, that is so cool. It like... all the way down, man. That's great.
It's like a meal you have to fight.
Yeah. it makes you earn it.
Yeah.
You appreciate it more when you have to work for it.
He looks to you and he just like actually like takes it from under your head. But you know what would be better if it actually was cooked?
I mean, you're the chef. I will trust your judgment on that.
Thank you very much. Frank is busy cooking you guys up something. You will have your food within an hour or so. But at this point, the only thing you have left is to look over to your side as the other pirate lords are now standing on Mead's ship, looking out over at your ship, waiting for you to take off.
All right, then. Ezra makes a dramatic pose and points forward. Let's set sail! Trying to be as commanding and captainly, but I am. You know what? I'm just gonna give
And you-
myself
you hear
a style roll here.
Performance.
Not the best, but with my
You rolled
performance,
over a 10, you're
it's
good.
True.
Above average.
Yeah, it's better than half.
Technically, it's exact average.
18.
Okay? No, you
Yeah.
do oppose. You feel confident. However, you feel as if there's something looming just behind you as you feel something enter your back pocket on the side. We'll be in touch. You hear Con Victora as you turn around and he's gone. You reach into your back pocket, you pull out another scrying orb.
Oh God. Eloy, did you see that?
With a perception of 12, did I see that?
Nope, because Convictora got a fucking stealth of 27.
See what?
Our old friend is here again, and I hold up the scrying orb.
Oh man, that guy. I mean, I guess he didn't do nothing too terrible, but boy, does that creep me out.
Exactly. It's not so much that he's like done terrible things. He just gives me the creeps.
I don't know what that's like, says Frida.
Oh, hey, yeah.
This is where we'll take a break.
All right. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back to the table. We're off at sea. We're finally going.
We did it. We
Yep.
made it to the ocean.
Holy shit, we're out in the ocean. You could smell the breeze in the air. You could see the seagulls following your ship. You see dolphins jumping out of the sea.
You see Wake jumping out of sea. Ah! I'll go back now.
Just needed to get that bit in there.
Funny enough, you actually see what looks like one of the dorsal fins kind of peeking out of the water, breaking the crown of the surface. It's getting bigger. It's getting bigger. It's getting bigger. That's a giant fucking fin right
anyone-
next to your ship.
Anyone recognize this?
Is that a Pliskin? Did he come to see us off too?
I'm going to turn a little bit away from that.
It's actually following the ship as it knocks to the side. Everyone kind of like jets over. Oh, sorry.
Is that?
What? Wait, is that Whoa?
She like lifts her head up. Yes, yes.
Hi, Whoa.
Oh, we were told to not let any ships out because there might be a storm going forward.
Oh, well, unfortunately.
That's what Mr. Gore said. She's like looking left and right trying to find your actual ship. She hears your voice, so she's fine with it. Meanwhile, everyone else on your crew's just like, what the fuck?
Oh, that's no, guys, don't worry. That's Whoa. She's nice. We met her before. She's real nice.
Well, hey, well, can you do me a favor, just as a personal favor, as a friend, and let us go? We've actually got somewhere we need to be, and while I'm sure the storm is dangerous, it's not that far for us. We should make the journey just fine, and we kind of just want to get out of here real quick, if that's okay with you.
She kind of just like lurches her head up out of the water completely. Looks over to the left and to the right. She kind of like, you watch as like the whiskers on her face kind of just like flail about a little bit. Which of you are the navigators? Is that something that's supposed to be on a ship?
Yeah, we have navigators.
Charlotte's just sitting there like, fuck.
Our navigator's a little surprised. She hasn't seen someone of your size before, so
Oh, that's okay. I
she
can't
might be
see
a little
anything
concerned.
at all.
And this is why I ask everybody if they're secretly dragons. Do you get it now?
I mean, she seems pretty upfront about it.
Yeah, not all of them are.
Weird.
I mean, the only way you would not know one of us was a dragon if we were older, much older.
Oh, is that only an older dragon thing? I thought you were too young and pretty to do that.
She doesn't understand human flattery. I'm gonna roll for her. Nope. She's just like, oh, okay.
Oh,
Cool. Well, anyway,
I'll get there.
You're not supposed to leave.
No, you. Well, since it is you guys, I guess I should at least warn you. If you travel, she's like looking left and right. She like lets out a little bit of like an electromagnetic spark out of like the side of her tendrils, and she looks over to the side. She's aiming where you guys are in that very
Our
direction.
Current heading.
Your current heading, she goes, if you're heading out at the exact same speed, you'll most likely hit the storm within the next night. I would say within a few hours you should bunker down.
All right. Well, thank you very much for the warning. Well, we'll keep that in mind. We'll do our absolute best to not go anywhere too dangerous.
Hopefully it's not another giant.
Yeah, that would
really
definitely
hope-
be a
really
throw a
hope-
wrench in some plans.
Charlotte then looks to you. Oh, well, as long as we stop on the ship before the storm goes, at least leave that to me. I think I can find us a heading if we at least stop for the night.
you
Definitely.
just point the way and I'll get us there.
Well, very well. Whoa kind of just like sinks down. Oh, by the way, I know that Mr. Gore said our scales are actually quite valuable to the mortal folk, so she like kind of like she like takes a tendril down, it reaches into the water. She kind of like hands it to you.
Well, thank you, Whoa.
She gives you a sea dragon scale.
Thank you very much, Woe. You've been so kind. I hope they've been treating you well over there.
Oh, they have. Mr. Gore has made sure that everyone at Wright treats me nice. I don't understand why no one would treat a dragon nice. We treat others nice, don't we?
There have been stories of some dragons who were particularly mean to mortals like us. So
Is it that Pops Ravi jerk?
that was one of them, yes. But there have just been quite a few dragons in history who've been less than nice. And to be honest, there have been humans who have been less than nice. So wouldn't be fair for me to judge the whole group based on the actions of some. And I just want to say thank you for not being the dragons we've heard so many scary stories about.
Okay, well, I'm glad you feel this way about me. I hope we see each other again.
Thanks, Woe.
Was that human joke?
Yeah,
Did I do
was
it?
great. It landed perfectly. I tried a thumbs up, but then remember she can't see it, so thank you.
Well, okay, I'll be on my way then. Please be safe. She lowers her head down, knocks against the ship again. Oh, sorry. And swims back.
So I look back at the crew. So anyway, she's kind of with the Navy right now, so we're gonna not bring that up too much. So maybe don't talk about our ship, because we might not be in great standing with the Navy as of right now.
Well, if they come asking questions, you can always tell them that you purchased this ship with the money that you were given.
Well, definitely that's the plan, but
Mr. Large hands
the
you a piece
fewer
of
eyes,
paper.
the better. I look at this paper that Mr. Large has handed me.
How do we explain taking a sea dragon scale then?
It was given to us
Yeah,
by the sea dragon itself.
I'm the one who introduced Woe to the rest of them, so I'm sure that they will believe me when I say that we bumped into each other and it was very amicable.
Very well. Well, with that, continue on with the adventure as Frank kind of just you heard dishes crack when Woe walked and bumped into the ship oh no!
No! We'll get those cleaned up. It's great.
Speaking of which, you actually see God, I gotta catch up on these. Jillian actually looks to you and just goes, speaking of which, Captain, if we do want an extra set of hands going down the road, have you thought about just getting a regular just boatswain, or not a boatswain? I apologize. You ever thought about just getting random deckhands to help you out with the ship as you go along?
Well, we hadn't really gotten many applicants for people who wanted to do that, and everyone
Kevin, take off your hat. Take off your hat.
takes off his hat.
There's a deckhand.
Oh, yeah. By the way, this is Scaffy. Scaffy's my little partner in crime. Sounds worse than it is. He's my partner in adventure. And, he follows my orders. He can do one thing a day. Don't worry about it if you see him crawling about on the ship.
You feel like your head get lighter as Frida's fucking Spidey hands grab him, and then she starts looking at him,
Hey, careful.
inspecting him.
He can be nervous around strangers.
Yeah, he shrivels up after one thing a day. He would actually be a terrible deckhand. I was just making a goof.
A crawling claw, Captain.
Yeah, it was given to us by a friend.
I had no idea your friend was very interested in the hands of murderers.
Oh yeah, he had told me that this hand in particular had a storied past when he gave it to me, but he assured me that it was totally safe now and that it was just bends to the will of whoever owns it, which is currently me.
Hands don't murder people. People murder people.
That's right. They just use their hands.
Captain, if it's not without my asking, would you mind if I borrowed this for some experiments?
Well, we've got a whiles to be at sea, and normally I'm only using it once a day anyway. Sure, go ahead.
Excellent.
Just make sure you bring it back in the same condition you got it, or better.
A challenge well accepted, Captain. You watch as she kind of vampire floats away down the galley.
Oh, I
wonder
sure
if
hope that thing can't feel anything.
I also wonder if I should order it to stay with her, but that might just shrivel it up. So I'm gonna let her experiment. If it comes back, I'll explain.
Well,
All right, Jeb, take us down to full sail.
I look over. Who was it who was nervous about ghosts? Or
that was Charlotte.
Charlotte? Okay. I go over to Charlotte just to see how she's doing.
Yeah, she's over with you right now since she's navigation.
He's really a nice guy when you get to know him, Charlotte, I assure you.
I mean, I guess you would know that, but it's still kind of frightening and sad to... I've heard ethereal moans and wails in my mind once before.
Yep,
And
me
now,
too.
Oh, I'm sorry, I don't mean to make this about myself.
Oh, don't worry about it. I try not to dwell on it.
You seem a lot more relaxed about it. You have a lot more fortitude to the situation.
I've had a lot of experience.
I don't know if my experience counts, but that's the whole reason why I came to this place. I came here seeking a little bit more of a freedom from the life that was taken away from me. The nuns thought I was cursed because I heard the voice of the night sky when I was young. They thought I was speaking in tongues, and when they found out that this creature has some sort of tie to Vlasimith, they decided to let me go at the age of 19, and I'm 24.
Well, you and I should get along just fine. I was abandoned at birth, sent to an orphanage, and then a prison. Then all my friends died. Now I have Chick. But my friends are still here. Right, Jeb? Full sail! All of them!
I mean,
See, if anything, Charlotte, this is just a lesson in how you can pick yourself up when you feel like you're at your lowest.
I've also had a few more years of dealing with it.
It's
but
true.
I mean, not that I think that it's necessarily the same, but I did get mildly exiled for playing magic music, and yeah, I was down about it at first, but now look at this. I play my flute and I try to harmonize with the ethereal moans of despair to make them sound
to make
less
a major
horrid.
chord.
Yeah, to like form a chord and make it sound like
Roll
music.
a performance check.
Improv.
14.
Even though your heart is breaking, laugh, cloud, laugh.
Voice of an angel, Jeb!
Look, that's gonna take some work to really perfect it, but I mean, you see what you can make out of even the most tragic circumstances if you try.
My friend Talon was much more of a songbird, but
Charlotte, if this will be a huge issue for you, though, we can definitely
Oh, of
figure
course
something
not.
out. Okay.
I mean, it's all interesting, to say the least. I've wanted to join this guild just to experience all these weird and fascinating things.
All right,
Because for most of my life, I've been sheltered in the fact that I dabbled in the weird and the strange.
Well, yeah. If there's one thing you can count on the natural wonders, it's how much we like to flaunt our weirdness and strangeness from our backgrounds. So if you were looking for an experience, by golly, you found one.
Then will you mind if I raise my voice, Captain?
Go ahead.
She like runs over to the side of the ship. Suck it, you old bags! I speak to ghosts!
tell him!
Yeah!
Woo!
She like turns around. She's just like grabbing her. She's like making a bald fist. Just like, I've wanted to do that for so long.
And see, out here in the sea, you can do that anytime you want.
Grammy.
You suck, Dad! I just scream out into the ocean. See? It's real cathartic.
Grammy's right behind her. Who you calling an old bag? What?
Don't worry, she'll do that. You'll get used to it.
Did you just stow away?
I have a feeling the answer is somewhere between yes and no, in that when she wants to be there, she's stowing away, but so long as she doesn't want to get caught, she isn't actually stowing away.
Captain, I don't mean to alarm you as Frank kind of comes up and he has like a whole platter of food for everyone to at least have something. To at least get up their strikes, like a lot of fish wraps and sandwiches. He like looks over to you, Captain. I don't mean to alarm you, but I think we're being followed by a mermaid. There's this wrinkly old hag on I don't mean to alarm you, but a seahorse bigger than an actual horse. I kept looking out the window when it was there staring at me.
That just kind of goes over to the edge of the ship.
Nothing.
Grammy, if you're out there, if you can hear me, look, if you want to come with us, I can't stop you, but if you're just going to keep poking up like this, we're going to have to talk about this. You can't just do that. I'm gonna take your silence.
No.
As you've accepted these terms.
You look out. Roll an investigation check.
13.
You're really not sure, but there's like you're going past a kelp forest, but the way the kelp forest is shaped, it almost says, "Try me."
I'm just saying it's gonna be very confusing, and we have a chef. Your job has been filled. I appreciate your devotion to me as your captain and Eloy as your husband, but you've got a whole other husband just waiting for you back on the main. You know what? It's sounding weirder and weirder, and I still haven't really gotten to know this crew. I'm gonna stop.
Charlotte looks to you. Wow, you had a lot of things pent up.
Yeah, you know. I've been having to be the grown-up captain and do interviews for a while. I haven't gotten to yell stupid stuff at the ocean for a while. You're gonna have to forgive me.
Best not to dabble too much in the realm of gods, Captain.
That's true.
All right. With that, a couple of days have gone by. You're probably at like halfway into day 3 into the morning.
Were we told that within a day we would be hitting that storm, or was that?
Yeah, it was sometime within the evening.
So did we bunker down?
That was more
it?
just Woe giving you an item. That was just
Okay.
fluff.
Okay.
Don't actually worry.
Gotcha.
about it.
We avoided it.
Gotcha. All right. Just wanted to
With
make sure.
with her instructions, you avoided it.
Okay.
So you're on day 3, going into the morning. Dagon, you start to take the wheel. You, Jillian, and Charlotte are looking over your information, your navigational maps, and lo and behold, off in the distance, Charlotte actually looks out. Ooh, I think I see something, and you see off in the distance what looks like a giant stone pillar that looks like it has a golden palace sitting on top of it. Yeah, that's home.
Oh, boy. Yeah, take out the spyglass. Land ho!
Gentlemen, you are greeted with what looks like it looks like you're looking at the landscape. It looks like almost there's a desertish like vibe to it. Like it's got like that little, oh god, the mirage. It has a mirage kind of look over to the side.
Okay.
There's not really a lot of like forest or anything. You're just seeing like dirt and mountain and plateau kind of like locations. But off in the middle where the dock is, you're seeing a giant circular wall that leads into what looks like a mountainside. And the mountainside has a bigger circular opening that leads into a tower that goes off into the sky. This entire location is adorned in gold and brass. Like you could see the shimmer in almost any location you look at. And that's not including all the Arakocra that are flying about. That doesn't include all the guards that are like standing there. They're all adorned in this ravishing gear, almost like what looks like Serpil to you.
Okay.
You remember she's the captain of the guard, so she's got like all kinds of like attachments for days, whereas these boys all look like they're just very authoritative, very different colored. Like some of their skins are bronze, some of their skins are black, some of them are white, some of them have different kind of like faces. When you look at a few of these guards that are as you're going past into the docking area, some of them actually look like they only have one eye. Some of them have rings of fire that loop around their head. Some of them actually have wings, some of them don't. This is a telltale signs of Azimar, no, hands down.
Putting up the hood. Try to be in your best behavior, chick.
No response.
Oh, good. It's quiet today.
Amongst the other races you're seeing on here, you're also, as you're getting into dock, you're seeing that the majority of these people are humans. Some of them are Arakocra, some of them are Din, kind of like how legitimate Larry and Arahati were.
Okay.
Some of them are wind, some of them are fire, some of them are earth. Let me double check my notes here real quick. That giant circular wall that I was talking about, now as you get closer towards the city of Iberkal, that wall is getting bigger and bigger, so much so that you're actually almost not able to see the city poking into the sky. As you land, you get your barracks, you get your stuff off the ship, everyone gets down. There's a couple of guardsmen, an Arakocra and a human Azimar are standing off to the side. They wait for you guys to actually catch up to them. They're letting you get off at your pace at this
Okay.
point.
So, what's the plan from this point forward, Captain?
Well, our job here is we have an audience with the king, so we're going to make sure we get through all the official channels and are led to where we're supposed to be.
Makes sense to me. And I'm guessing we should be on the lookout for any would-be assassins.
Absolutely. Always keep a sharp eye out. Rule number 1 of the natural wonders is always have a bearing on your surroundings. All right, where do we go?
Well, if we're heading towards the palace, I would say I point at the giant gold palace at the top of the pillar. Probably in that direction.
A salient point. I like it. Dagon, you tell it like it is.
The 2 guards put their spears in front of you as in a cross.
Oh, hi.
And it begins.
Hello, gentlemen. We're the Natural Wonders. We were hired to deliver something for the king.
The king, you say?
Yes.
As the Falcon Aarakocra now turns his head to look at you.
Trust me, I'm sure if you just tell him that Ezra Lockwood of the Lockwood Natural Wonders and his crew have arrived, they will welcome us with open arms.
Let me see your permit then, sir.
Absolutely. Looks through his stuff for permit.
Pretty sure we got one of those
Yeah,
quite a while ago from Gore.
yeah, that's right. We did get the one from Gore. So, yeah. I hand that over, the permit from Gore.
Also, if you could just tell him that Eloy, the ghost spooker, is here.
Yes, he's here to actually perform a song for them, I believe.
Yeah, I put on, you might have heard of Spumoni's Lament down in Bulkard. It's kind of a big deal.
The more you're saying this to them, it looks like it's just going way over their heads as the Aarakocra is now looking at the paperwork.
Were you told that we would be coming? I was under the
Spumoni's do make some delicious gelato.
I was under the
He
impression.
hands you your paperwork back. Sir, that is not a ruby permit.
Oh,
Did they not send that to you? I
Apparently
could have
not.
sworn we talked to the lady about this.
I thought we had. This seemed like something we had discussed.
I have in my inventory a perfect ruby. I dig it out and hand it to him. Oh, I'm so sorry. Here you go.
No, I don't know if that's how this is gonna work.
Is that not
Oh,
what
he
we're-
doesn't hand it to you. He puts his hand to you. He puts his hand out to you. Then do you have a permit, sir?
I thought. That's what I was trying.
No, that's. I think a ruby permit
Look,
is like a different.
This is
ranking
really
of
awkward.
permit.
There must have been something shifted around. Obviously, some words got crossed somewhere. Look, can we just speak to your superiors real quick? I'm certain that they would be very upset if we were not to make our audience.
Is this distinguished with you?
Persuasion.
With disadvantage.
Oh, with disadvantage. Okay.
Yeah, you
crap.
are.
Well, that was really
He
good.
is a racist.
Of course, they all are, those motherfuckers. Persuasion, even with disadvantage, is a 18.
Well, both the guards look to you, but then turn over to Ezra. Is this distinguished with you?
And there we go.
Yeah, he's a member of our crew. I was told that so long as he stuck with me and we made sure that he was well behaved, that there would be no problems.
No, there is no problem for him to stay around the Ring of Mortality.
Well, from what I understand, that's not where we need to go.
Indeed. But unfortunately, without a permit for use of rubies, that is where you will remain. You are not given entry into the... I apologize. Let me double check my notes here. Yep. Yep. You are not allowed entry into the Acropolis unless you have a ruby permit, sir. We can give word, but I'm sure it'll get there in quite some time.
Well, if that's the best you can do, I guess that's what we'll have to deal with for now. However, if I get in trouble for this, could I have your name, sir, just so I could let them know who didn't allow me to pass when I had
Roll a wisdom save as he tells you his true name.
touche. Oh, nat 20.
Hey!
Give it to me.
You don't understand a fucking word this guy said, but you felt the small-throbbing pain when he spoke it.
Is he saying in Celestial?
Yep,
I would understand it.
there you go.
All right. Did you catch any of that?
He doesn't give an actual name. He says, we're not letting them pass.
I got his name.
All right, good. Perfect. That's all we need.
As I've said, sir, you and your friends are allowed to walk about the Ring of Mortality. You may if you would like, and if you are here to actually transfer your... What currency do you have on you?
I have gold.
Ah, I see. Yes. In that case, you may go into the Ring of Mortals. The Northern Ring is the bazaar, good for trading with the other locals and other people of other countries who have not been gained access to the Acropolis. If you are looking for lodgings, there is also the West and Eastern Ring, both charity and fate. And if you are looking to do any odd jobs, as your crew seems to... You wouldn't be adventurers, were you? You seem to have some of the right equipment with you.
I mean, we've been on a handful of adventures.
Also, we just came from Ride. Good eye.
I see. Then you'll be wanting to go to the South Ring of Fortitude. That's where the entry into the desert is. If there is any jobs that require you to obtain rubies, I'm certain you would find something there.
Okay, well, thank
And if
you.
you do have the Extinguish with you, they could take the trial of the plateau, but that'd be hysterical, now wouldn't it?
Oh, yes, I'm certain they would be hysterical.
Both the guards laugh. As you were, sir.
Thank you, gentlemen. I apologize for any confusion or miscommunications on our part. Thank you so much for your time.
As you walk through, you go through the giant stone wall. You enter...
As I'm walking by them, I've picked up some language from Griorchik for a while. As they say in the deep ocean, Vas nifnanur. Go fuck yourself. I say in deep speech.
Oh yeah, I know. They don't pay attention. They kind of like stonewall, like, you know, like... They
No
just-
nonsense guards.
Yeah, no nonsense guards. They're standing there just waiting for you to pass by.
Told them.
You enter the bazaar. It's a grand plaza filled with all sorts of races. A lot of them don't look like they're actually part of the city. Most of the city denizens, as I've said, most of the guards were Arakakra Din and humans. People here, there are lizard folk, there are dragonborn, there are gnomes, there are elves, there are rat folk, there are all sorts of races here, but all of them look like they're just handing out gold. Through the mutterings of hearing people in this entire place, you're hearing something commonly referred to as the courtship of Crimson. That is a very common thing for trying to get rubies. There are also people who are just trying to sell off stuff to others for like gold, but a lot of them kind of laugh it off. If you want to roll an investigation, you can watch on a conversation to see how much gold is actually worth in this place.
I'll check in on that.
15.
14.
How much has shit changed?
1 gold. 1 gold pretty much is the same thing as 5 copper in this place.
Oh, okay.
So it's gone down a bit. It used to be worth silver.
Rough exchange rate.
What would you like to do as you're standing in the middle of the bazaar?
Well, all right.
You and your crew, your entire crew's with you at this point, by
Yeah.
the way. Some of them stayed behind. Who would you like to stay behind on the ship?
You know, Mr. Large will probably be a little inconspicuous walking around, and I feel like I can trust him to hang out on the ship.
What do you mean, English?
So he should probably stick back and keep watch.
Alrighty.
Plus, he's a big, scary man. No one will want to get on if he's there.
I mean, a lot of the Azmar you see walking around, a lot of the guards, they're all like 7 to 8 feet tall. So.
Yeah, they're also huge, but
Eloy, as we make dock, Eloy does put his normal glyph of warding on the ship, as per usual. If anybody boards without our knowledge or consent, they will be hit by a suggestion spell, instructing them to find the nearest crew member and apologize for trespassing.
Alrighty. At this point, you watch as the guards actually go on the ship and start, with Mr. Large's permission, getting on board to actually inspect the ship. And so far, everything looks like it's fine. It's just a minor inspection.
Okay.
A-okay with that.
Yeah, the glyph of warding can be set up with a password that he can give them. It's easy enough to let somebody on who's
You
supposed
actually
to
see
be
that
there.
he's speaking with them and not actually writing down notes.
Okay.
So these people are actually able to understand
I was
Goblin.
going to say, they must understand Goblin then.
So, again, you are in the middle of the bazaar. If you want to roll a perception check, I can give you little minute details of what's going on in the area.
Sure. Well, what's a 7? Tell me.
I got a
Guy's
20
really trying to sell you some carpets, man.
All right. Some good
15.
24.
24. All right. This is all flooding back to you. You've been here before. This is where you actually, before you got capsized.
This is where I would steal apples to survive.
Riff raff, street rat.
You remember this port fairly well. You remember the northern side of the Ring of Mortals. This is where most of your jobs would get done. This is where you would steal things just to survive. Most people don't normally catch you because it's always so busy. You know full well that so long as you don't do anything like super huge to piss off the guard, normally they just wave off whatever the mortals are doing. They're not really too keen on making like, apart from like murder and like stealing a bank or something, or like actually attacking any of the elephants, because that this place is huge about that as the religious symbol, because that has something to do with the courtship of Crimson. Fucking around with anything religious or grand scale theft or straight up murder, most of the guards don't care.
I'm assuming one of those fucking around with things that I shouldn't fuck around is what ended me up in that prison.
As for you, Eloy, again, you're hearing more about this courtship of Crimson. You're hearing a lot of stirs about a bunch of fellows known as the Locks. Unable, like, they're actually having problems with gaining any more rubies, and you also hear tell that someone in the courtship actually left of their own accord out into the desert. You don't know what a Locks is unless you want to roll an intelligence check.
We'll try. What's an 8 get me?
Fish on a bagel.
Yep. You have no idea. There's a little guy just like handing you one of those small lamps. Still good.
And Nick found the only way to stop me from making a pun. Make it first.
Too bad.
So you're hearing about the courtship of Crimson and people known as the Locks, but you don't know what that means. But apparently they have something to do with the ruby economy here.
Well, this is a little more awkward than I anticipated. I assume when you said you had an audience with the king, I thought that meant you'd have a permanent four-set audience.
That was what I was led to believe.
I thought the permit we handed them was what led us in to do that, and I guess there's a better one with Ruby. I gave him a Ruby. I don't know what his problem was.
They're really, 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 really uptight here.
Do you want to roll a knowledge check about that?
I will. With advantage or no?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Slightly better.
As you're oh, sorry.
Slightly better. I got a 13.
Okay. Because you weren't let into the Acropolis, you know that there's not really. The Acropolis is pretty much the more prestigious location, and that's where the palace actually is. So like, there's the Ring of Mortals, and then the Acropolis, and then the Acropolis leads up into the palace. The only way for mortals to actually go into the Acropolis without the use of a permit for rubies is if there's a special occasion or if there's going to be a public hearing, and it's only entered through Temperance, which is in the south end of the entire area. To get into the Acropolis, however, you would need a permit to actually use and trade with rubies and a set amount of rubies to actually enter in. But
So,
you have not been here in quite some time that you don't know how to obtain one. You don't know how to obtain a rubies apart from exchanging them for gold, which probably is not the best case scenario.
Seems like a bad route to go.
yes, typically. Well, if there's anybody left,
I mean,
my first thought would be to check by some of his old contacts, him being kind of a rogue for this place's standards. He would probably have had some contacts with people that would have more shady dealings. So
Okay.
I guess he'd try to make contact through some old familiar faces.
If you would want to do that, you know that your best bet, probably not here because there's too much guard activity. The best place for you to find any sort of contact and shady deals would be closer toward Temperance, which is the south gate.
Well, if we make our way towards the South Gate, Captain, I might have a few friends left in this town.
Excellent.
I'll throw this out there just as an option. I can make 2 of us invisible. We could just walk past those guards, go see the king, and ask him to let the rest in.
That might be the case if they didn't have security for just such measures. I am hesitant to say that a few of my friends weren't so lucky.
You actually look up towards the sky. you notice you look up towards the sky and have everyone else point up. You watch as there's like a flock of pigeons kind of just like flying around. They start heading over towards where the Acropolis is.
Stupid birds. You think they'd learn?
It looks like they just ran into an invisible wall.
Is it like, what is it, real windy over there? Just pushing them away?
It's like a stupid little protection bubble. They need their safe space.
I guess. But we can get in it if we have the right permit?
Yes, they'll let you through. Many of my friends have tried to find less amicable means of entering, and
How'd that go?
not well.
Roll.
$16.
Surprisingly, there actually has been a few cases of people being able to forge their way inside, but it was through means outside of the city and into the desert.
Yes, the best route would possibly be the desert. I've heard rumors at the very least, but though I would say if there is going to be some sort of less than amicable activity inside, that is where anybody who isn't properly invited would make their entrance.
Charlotte kind of looks to you. Well, do you not know anyone inside the Acropolis who could probably get you in? Someone who isn't the king?
Well, we had met... Oh, geez. That was a while ago. I mean, I know we knew Serpil, but I think Serpil stuck around where they were.
Serpil's the bodyguard of the king.
Yeah, okay.
Probably hard to get in contact with.
Yeah, that's probably almost up there with trying to talk to the king.
I remember the other person.
Oh, there was the one person that...
It's a damn shame I'm...
Yeah, I know. I know. No, this is good.
I mean, people who might be willing to be helpful. No, we do know Caster.
It doesn't help that every time I level
There
up, I
was
throw
one
out
that
my
would
old
be
paper.
helpful.
No, I do remember there being someone other than Serpil who was an older...
If he rolls high enough on an intelligence check, can I tell him?
No, because that's meta.
All right.
All right, that's fair.
But it would be him technically trying to remember as Ezra.
But unfortunately,
Yeah,
it's
fair
coming
enough,
from
fair enough.
you, and that's meta.
That's fair. What if you told him?
If we take another break, I might be able to find a paper that might have it written down. But,
I think we'll be beyond that point
No,
once we
that's
get to there.
well, I
We'll
know...
be right back after. No.
Well, we knew the King's Guard, and there was an advisor who would come by and talk with us. Their name is escaping me, though, and that's probably
Do you
gonna make it
remember-
really tough.
Do you remember what they looked like?
They were more turtle, I feel, than
Well, that shouldn't be too hard to find around here.
I would
That
think.
actually sounds strange, considering that there is no such thing as a turtle outside of someone who can actually use a ruby permit that is not allowed into the Acropolis.
Well, that should be extremely easy to find if we can get a name attached to it, but I guess if we just
That's
ask
the
around
important
with that.
part. I mean, yeah, if we can just kind of ask around and maybe figure some things out. Also, it sounds
If
like
he knows, I would allow it. Not you, because you're new to the party.
right.
You guys have already dredged up more information than was in my brain.
Yeah, I remembered a turtle who was like an advisor. The name is completely gone.
All right, well, have you guys run dry at a wall? Because I can give you your options if you don't want to investigate any further.
Well, I mean, I can.
I'm fine
Yeah,
investigating.
yeah, I'm fine. I'm
Like
fine
I said,
exploring
I might
stuff.
have old contacts back in the South, and if this name should happen to come to them, or if we should happen to, hey, do you know a turtle that talks to the king?
Yeah, actually, honestly, that would probably be
The best course of action.
In game, Ezra would be like, "Well, I don't remember this person's name, and you have contacts who might be able to either get us in or get us this name." So, I would probably just default to, well, if you think you've got some contacts, I would be interested to see what they've got to say.
Well, let's make our way to the South. It has been a few decades since I've been back, but
Then here we go. Let's have a stroll down memory lane for you.
Alrighty, as you guys are walking, some of the people are actually gathered around one stall in particular, and it has the word sprawled on top of it, but it's written in Celestial. You could read it off as the Splendor Maw.
yeah. Ah, the Splendor Moth.
Maw.
Splendor Maw.
That
you-
sounds way better than the man mall.
Do you wish to roll to see what that actually is,
I
or
will
to
see
remember
what
what that is?
It is. I don't think I need advantage on that one. That is a 18.
Okay, well, this is kind of strange because you remember that the Splendor Maw is a wandering body of water in the Torch-Tongue Desert that pools magic from all across Kelpie into one condensed water spurt. When the water spurt disperses, it leaves behind a small temple that on its insides is an ever-changing chamber of treasure, materials, monsters, and traps. It is rare, almost nigh impossible. It almost sounds like it's a scam that someone's trying to pawn off stuff from the Splendor Maw to people here.
One of my friends said they'd go and find the place. They never came back.
Well, it's gathering a crowd, and I would think that this place would probably have some pretty savvy shoppers.
It's also a incredibly large tourist trap around here.
That's true.
Not quite as big as Bulkard, but Bulkard's got that ridiculous eyesore of a carnival.
Convict tourist standing there as you say that.
I was gonna
I
say,
don't know anything.
Oh, I know. He just like you look off in the distance. There he is standing there, and then he's gone as someone walks past.
And Ezra would not defend it. Well,
What do they have at this booth?
yeah, I was gonna say I'm just going to look over there and see what kind of wares they're
As you walk
schlepping.
up, there's actually serpent folk, almost in the same vein as Ziaka, as you two would remember. There's like 2 or 3 Naga trying to pawn off these broken vases, like shields that look like they have symbols of fire on them. Like all stuff that looks like something an archaeologist would find way more interest in, but they're just constantly like calling off, like saying like, and here we have this vase, once said to be owned by the famous Balibar himself.
Ooh, Balibar.
For an investigation, can I discern if this is actually of value?
You have no fucking idea because
Okay.
people are actually flaunting. I'll give one ruby, and then there's some people saying, "Wait, no, I'll give you this much gold." Like they're getting high in the fucking numbers. People
Wait
are
a
clamoring
minute.
for this shit.
This might actually be easier than I think.
But the word Balibar is actually used fairly commonly in a lot of the stuff they're pawning off.
Dagon, Balibar, does that name ring a bell for you?
You don't even need to roll that. That's the
Cool.
first call ever.
Yes, that was the first call. The wondrous beginning of our glorious race.
Interesting. So if something, say, was rumored to belong to this Balibar, it would probably fetch a pretty high price.
Quite a bit of money, I assure you. In fact,
Dagon.
you'd be remiss to find something around here that wasn't touched by him. Some Gugar doodad. Of course, it's just rumors.
All right. Second and equally important question: how do you feel about scams?
Go on.
Dagon, we've accrued quite a bit of bounty over the years that I've been able to bring along with us. I'm sure we can find something in here that we can convince these fine people it might be worth their rubies.
Well,
This one-of-a-kind shield brought to you by the Neris themselves, blessed by them. You couldn't get anything any more official than this.
This is amateur hour over here. These two don't know how to...
impossible. I did not know that they had stamps for Ibrakol back then. Wow. The blacksmiths of that age sure did know what they were doing.
Are you actually going to try and fight them on this?
Yes.
Roll a persuasion with disadvantage.
With disadvantage. Gotta get more disadvantageous than that. 23.
All
The
right.
first one was a nat 20. For the record.
What's great is like I have a bunch of stuff that might actually be super valuable that I've never gotten to praise. So I'm just like, I don't know. I've got this
Why,
dragon
sir,
scepter.
with the Neris speaking of praises of this themselves, the Neris, the cult of those of the Realm Gate itself, how could you say that such a thing is not the real article?
Well, I don't know. Something about the patina, something about the actual stamp of the blacksmith right there.
Roll an investigation.
I'm just making this shit up.
Oh no, I know you are. But I'm going to try and give you something to assist you with this.
Okay. 18.
18.
Oh, I'm sorry, 17.
You keep mouthing off something about a blacksmith, but looking at this, it almost looks like it's just a stone slab with someone who knifed it. So it's like, if you're gonna try and like coin off this blacksmith, this has to have like some kind of significant value of like how old it has to be. You have to work more on the age.
Now, come to think of it, I didn't even know they knew how to work with stone like that. Fascinating.
Are you saying you know more about the realm of Selima than most people do in the planescape?
Oh, absolutely not. I'm simply stating I know a thing or two about carving rocks. And your people sure do know a thing or two as well.
With a 19, roll a persuasion.
Persuasion? Are my disadvantages?
No.
again, or-
No. Just you're working the crowd.
All right, 21.
21. All right. The crowd is like murmuring to themselves now trying to see, like, they're going off the shield now. They're looking into other stuff. They're just like, what else do you got? Like, they're trying to, like, coin off and, like, say, like, hey, what else do you have?
Okay, he was lying about this, but maybe he's got something good.
Yeah, no, but when the fact that when the Naga kept talking about something called the Neris cult, they, like, people took that for, like, religious word almost.
Okay, what do you have on you, by the way?
Let's see. I have.
Just any little goo-gaw.
Yeah, no, I've got a couple.
I got this brass cube. I've been carrying this since literally Jahal Cove. Just like a little brass puzzle box. With
I have this very fancy deer statue, and this. Oh man, which one of these would be the best? And a gnarly cleaver trap blade.
Don't know if either of those will play.
Come on, man, just use your imagination. It's all about how you sell it.
I hold up the deer statue. Now this, on the other hand.
What the hell is that?
I still.
Oh, I am surprised a historian like you would not recognize it. This was the very first elephant statue ever crafted here by very rudimentary craftspeople, of course. But
While
it
he's
was
giving this speech,
Roll religion with disadvantage.
disadvantage.
while he's giving this speech, I stealth into the crowd, like just away from him, but like into the group of people.
What do you wish to do with this stealth?
I want to make sure that no one sees that I was with him, so when I pop out of the crowd to corroborate his story, it seems like a stranger.
Okay, roll a stealth.
Okay, I got a 19 on it.
Do I notice him doing this?
I got a 15 in
All
my.
right, well, hold on.
Sorry.
A bunch of shit's going on at the same time.
Yeah,
my
sorry.
religion is a 15.
Okay. 19.
Yeah, my stealth was a 19.
Perception.
Nat 20.
You see him going.
Okay.
Okay, I also back off a few steps and smoothly try to, just as though playing a couple licks on my flute, I cast invisibility on him to aid him in his stealth.
See, back then the craftsmen, they were
Just gonna let him work the crowd.
They were known to take hallucinogenic materials from the Fey realm, and they would craft what they saw. And when they looked upon the elephant, they saw the horns coming out of every which direction and staggering off into many ways. Some even believe that this is what created those that are known as Fawn themselves.
All right. The fact that you're talking about elephants is already a slippery slope as it is.
I know.
The crowd doesn't know, but those who actually like are a part of the Acropolis or a people who are I know I fucked that word up.
No,
I
you're
apologize.
fine.
Acropolis. Or like a lot of people who aren't tourists here are kind of offended by what you just said.
Fuck them.
But they do take up a majority of the place. But the fact that they're standing in front of a place that is talking about the Splendor Maw, obviously they're here for some kind of bullshit, or they're actually trying to find the real article and then this bazaar. So I'm going to roll for the crowd of people who don't live here and are tourists.
Good.
All right. Those who are absolutely tourists believe everything you're fucking saying. Now let me roll for the people who actually live here. They can't see the statue too great. So the fact that you're trying to like hold it up, but it's like the crowd's kind of like surfing.
I'm
to try
not
and see
letting
what's
anybody
going
get a
on.
good look at it. I'm just swinging it around.
Yeah, so at that point I need you to roll me a sleight of hand to try and like work that.
That hand is one of my better skills. 17.
17. The crowd can't keep up, so you're actually able to keep them interested, but there are still people who are disbelieving what you're saying. And the people in front, like the Nagas that you're talking to, they're just like, the fuck are you on about?
Who is this man?
Especially the fact that you're an extinguished, that they're just like, this seems fucking rocky as shit.
Extinguished or not, I'm a native of this land. Where do you hail from, friends?
We live here.
Oh, is that so?
Boing.
Then how come I've never seen you?
Deflected.
Checkmate.
All right, so what did you...
At this time, Ezra comes in. Excuse me, sir.
Oh, another dissenter. What have we?
Come on, I've been an archaeologist in these points just for decades. Let me see this. You're nothing but a
You
con
think
man.
I would hand this over for nothing?
Fine, very well. I rustle in my things, pulling out my fake ring. This is a genuine ring from the era of which you speak.
Really?
If its craft matches this, then perhaps you might be telling some figment of a truth.
Well then, we shall hand it over on 3.
It's a 25 on deception, by the way.
All right, let me roll for the natives and for the... Natives don't know shit. They're eating this up.
1, 2, 3.
Swap it. Look. My
This does seem to be what you claim it is.
I just like looking at it, just very emphatically, like observing it, like from every angle. I pull
That's
out
right. Notice the crafts marks.
I have
Clearly from the era.
I have. I pull from my bag just like a little magnifying glass I have from my lock picking stuff. I'm just looking at it. Just fascinating. The craftsmanship on this. It's unlike anything I've ever seen. This might actually be. This may even be older than we thought. Like just looking and
You hear someone in the back.
Heresy! How does one predate the realm gate opening?
this.
Fascinating that you should ask that. Have you ever even asked where the realm gate leads?
Someone had to create
Yes,
the.
Salima, you fucking idiot.
Exactly! That's where it would be created, you stupid fuck! Dare to ask me again? Persuasion! Or deception, I guess. Deception is a 24. Holy shit.
Hell yeah.
It's a match.
Then he knows I'm not entirely bullshitting.
No, you're right.
My good man, I apologize. Only a fool would pay anything short of a king's sum for such an artifact.
Of course.
didn't steal it from Balibar itself?
Exactly. How do you know that this was not taken from Balabar? Of course, not by me myself, but I did come across it.
There is so much shit going on in this conversation that the crowd doesn't know what the fuck to think, heads or tails. But the Nagas behind this counter, by the way, when the ring was brought up, they started to believe it. Everything else beyond that, they're just like, what the fuck is this guy doing?
I'll tell you what. I am willing to part with this, as much as I love it. If only so that this town can have genuine articles of the era. I am tired of this town being besmirched by these con artists.
The
So
guards
please.
the guards are now watching.
Exactly. Go legit. You may have your ring back, sir. This I believe would fetch quite a hefty sum in
Thank
the right
you very
auction
much.
house.
I've been thinking of selling this, but now my fascination is just so sidetracked by this statue.
Very well. The snakes are just like, all right.
Jesus Christ.
We'll play this fucking game. Produce your permit.
My permit. Sir. Who do you think you're talking to?
By the sound of it, someone who doesn't have a permit.
Well, by the sound of it, Goodbye! And I duck and dive.
All right, not quite the result I was hoping for, but they turned that on us pretty good. Can't get too mad there.
So, as I've stated before, it looks like you need not only rubies, but a permit.
Well, yeah. Nothing's just okay.
No, look, he bailed out at the critical moment.
No, yeah.
Nothing's gonna come of this. Even like I said, the guards are just like, oh, it's just some guy being a bullshit artist. Okay.
I am offended that you would even have to ask for it. I will take my
Good
wares
day.
and leave.
Yeah, good day, sir.
Farewell, and say farewell to this.
And I make a very clear, like, hey, wait up, hold on. I might have an offer for you as we just go back into the crowd.
Roll a stealth, both of you, to try to worm away from people who actually have been suckered by what you said.
Nat 20, motherfucker.
Stealth is a 17 for me.
All right.
That's a lot of 17s.
The crowd, once the fact that you didn't have a permit came into play, the crowd kind of just like backed off of what you were doing and went back to what's going on.
I would never state that I didn't have a permit. I would just say, fuck you for asking.
Right on.
How dare you?
But the fact that a permit wasn't produced automatically is just like, oh, you're a bullshit artist.
I said that was a good trial run.
No, we, I feel like we've got something here. We just need to, maybe figure out our, stick the landing a bit. Perhaps the follow through. Have a permit, maybe.
Find the. I might know some people that could produce some for us, but we'll see about that. There might be.
We've at least laid the groundwork for something. We have a
Eloy, you
path.
never mentioned to them about the courtship.
The what?
I don't know. I've been hearing all kinds of stuff about a courtship of Crimson.
That seemed like a
Is that
really
a-
fancy thing. I figured that was something in the Acropolis. Is that something around here?
I have no idea. I just keep hearing people talking about Bally Bob, courtship of Crimson, proper noun, proper noun.
Yes, there are quite a few proper nouns around here. For the courtship of Crimson, would a 14 get me anything?
Courtship of Crimson is a bank that is run by a particular race of creatures that is held in very high religious regard to the Acropolis. The Courtship of Crimson is... Hold on, let me actually get... You know what? I wrote all this information down. Let me go ahead and just explain that.
Might just want to read it.
I might just want to. All right.
Dagon spits it out verbatim.
Yeah. And this is what he presents.
Well, here's what I saw in the Wikipedia article.
Yeah. Rubies are given out to citizens as a service to their kingdom, as well as sought out ranking, real estate, and political power. Even royalty are held in height by the amount of rubies they obtain and amass. Ownership and accounting is held by a certain bank called the Courtship of Crimson. Luxodon bankers keep track of all ongoings of ruby trade, purchase, and accounting.
It's
hot
toasty in
here.
It's actually
yeah.
a warm.
Okay, I was just like, is this a gag I'm not
No,
on about?
This is it
is
is
just
warm
quite
in here.
warm.
Okay,
Yeah.
no, I will allow. I'll say that yes, it is warm in here. I was just like, wait a minute, did I just like walk into a gag I didn't know about?
No. I know I've built up the expectation that anytime I do literally anything, it's me setting up a gag. In this case, I'm honestly just a little warm.
Okay, sorry about that. Ownership and accounting is held by a certain bank called the Courtship of Crimson. Luxodon bankers keep track of all ongoings of ruby trade, purchase, and accounting, as religious emblems of the Khals are elephants. The Khals entrust only Luxodon as their primary holders of rubies for the entire kingdom. There are banks in the Ring of Mortals that are part of the Courtship of Crimson, but again, it's very rare, and they're probably chock full of people trying to get the same thing you guys are.
Look, if we can get in, maybe I know somebody. We can try.
They're around, but they're not as common as they would be inside the Acropolis.
You know, I also remembered I do have this. I don't know if it's of any use at all, but I've got an Eber Hall medallion that I was given back when I got the Wandering Script badge about 1 million years ago. Does this do anything?
Go ahead and investigate on that one, I guess. Oh shit, 21.
That might be able to get you some standing of getting into the Court of Crimson a little bit faster.
This might actually help, yes.
Oh, all right, great.
So yeah, let's go find a bank.
All right, cool. So, unfortunately, in the northern side service,
We're heading towards south, so.
yeah. You could probably find a bank either on the western or eastern side of the ring. South, you absolutely can.
We'll go around the west
Yeah.
side.
Alrighty. Let's see here. The west side of the Ring of Mortals is known as Charity. They are where most of the inns and most of the living space for all people who are in the Ring of Mortals actually reside.
Ah, this is where the orphanage would be then.
Indeed.
Ah, so maybe I will find some
Would be
people that I know.
familiar.
Traveling these streets, again, you haven't been here for quite some time, so you're only getting, like, maybe vague hints of like, oh, I know where this is. Oh, I know where this is, but not enough. It's like being away from a place for a really long time.
It's been so gentrified. How do people even afford to live here anymore?
By gentrified, do you mean like it's just buildings stacked on top
Yeah.
of buildings on top of buildings where, again, it just straight up feels like this whole place, it's like, it's gilded gold on top of even newer gilded gold on top of even newer. So like these people are just building vertically. They're not building any other space around.
Because they'd have to build into the ocean.
You're seeing a lot of folks just wandering around, minding their own business. Some folks are talking to others. Some of them actually notice Dagon walking by because he's an extinguished. So you're hearing a lot of whisper murmurs like, "Oh shit!" Like,
How do you do?
oh, like some people like don't mind that you're actually walking around. It's just like, "Oh wow, did not know that an extinguished walking around would be so compliant."
Can't believe he'd just be walking around like that in public.
Oh my god, it's almost like I've lived like 30-some years to deal with it. Oh, it's so miserable.
Now you got a rat folk looking at you, just like,
Share secrets, friend.
it's
Ah,
it's
what
a
kind
it's
of
a
secrets?
follower of Deimos as he like he flashes like his emblem out to you.
Ah, follower of Deimos. Wonderful.
Secrets to share.
Maybe. Do you have any to share back?
Many, if the trade is equal.
It's a little rat folk fellow wearing a Deimos mask.
Any good way to contact you? Should we perhaps need services of your lord?
The voice of Deimos is anywhere and could be anything at any time.
Oh, of course.
Of course, you know us well then.
I've had dealings.
However, if you wish to seek an audience, head to Sanctuary.
Sanctuary.
Find the sewers, the largest grate, with one of an elephant sticking out. Enter its mouth. You will find us there.
Largest sewer grates, elephant's mouth.
But beware. Don't let eyes see you walk in.
Of course. What do you take me for?
And extinguished.
Accurate. I prefer man, but, you know,
That is a secret. That is one that is not.
true enough. True enough indeed. Well then, we'll be in touch.
Very well. Do you have secrets to share as of current?
Well,
This one can offer you maybe a small pittance of ruby for a proper secret.
I may or may not know of a certain plot being hatched at present. Perhaps involving a few undead beasties.
I never seem to know who this is a secret to or not. I know of a Navy man what's a secret dragon. Does that count?
That was literally what I was
Roll
thinking.
persuasion.
Is that news to you?
It's true.
Let's see, that'd be a 16.
You speak in a very good tongue, sir.
Oh, thank you.
This follower of Deimos will listen to your secret.
What do you give me for it?
What do you wish?
Look, man, we need, what is it, a ruby pass?
Yeah, we need a ruby permit, or perhaps if one of those is a little too hard to come by, and...
This one knows where one can acquire one.
Excellent. Wonderful.
It is not in this city.
Unfortunate.
There is a city just outside in the Torch Tongue Plains.
Oh, fabulous.
Furfos. It's the den of the Neris.
Furfos.
There is one Luxodon out there who has left of his own accord. You could converse with him and maybe make yourself a forgery.
A Luxodon.
Fascinating. They're the ones that do the accounting around here.
Okay.
Do any of you know what one actually looks like?
I probably would, having lived here.
You know what they look like, but you haven't seen one in person.
Fair enough.
Probably not. I rolled a 6.
You could roll if you want.
Sure.
I rolled a modified 20. I don't know what a Luxodon is, but if
14.
Ezra does.
14? I'll just say this. With the combined, like, schmoozing of talking to this man and what little description you have from Dagon himself, these are elephant people. Like, woolly mammoth, 9-foot-tall boys.
They're basically walking elephants.
Yep.
No wonder
That's why they're held
high
in religious
regard.
standard, because they literally are elephants.
Ask me, they just got kind of lucky to be born the way they look.
At least in this society.
Yes, it's amazing. Being born into a certain set of skin really does change their attitude.
It's
they're so-
fascinating.
Yes.
What's even more fascinating is one cannot obtain secrets of the Luxodon. They are so pure that none can penetrate their secrets.
That sounds like a challenge.
And they also never forget.
I remember hearing that.
Well, man, I guess fair's fair. Lieutenant Gore's really a dragon.
Who is this Lieutenant Gore?
He's a big, important Navy man. He's an advisor.
I will accept this secret in trade.
He like kind of just like adjusts his mask. It just skitters off.
Unfortunately, the information he gave us isn't that good because it means walking pretty much into the Supermax prison of this island.
No,
Oh.
it doesn't. Going into the Torch Tongue Plains is fine. Going into the plateau is the death march.
Ah.
Means going next to the Supermax prison of this island.
I mean, to be fair, the information I gave him wasn't that special. Lieutenant Gore will tell anybody who asks. You just gotta know to ask.
I'd still be careful about who you tell that. I mean, Deimos knows pretty much almost everything, but...
Yeah, he'll probably get back home and find out they already knew.
That or we've triggered something in the world by revealing a secret about one of its highest ranking authorities. You know, we'll find out, I guess.
All right, so you just received a little bit more information. There is a lone Luxodon out in the city of Furfos in the desert that, if conversed with, he might actually give you guys a forgery for a permit.
Well, that seems like a pretty clear option. Have you heard anything from your connections?
You
We
have
haven't
been
gotten there
next to
yet.
me this whole time.
Well,
We
you know.
haven't actually reached there yet.
Gotcha.
The jobs you are thinking of is the one that actually got you your job before you actually met Griorchik.
Yes.
That would be in Temperance, which is close to the gate that leads out into the desert.
All right, they would have been the ones to tell me about the silver shipment that we robbed and then had to flee from navies.
Yep, and the best part about that is you remember it as the name of the place being called a carve house.
Yeah, I suppose I have to go to the carve house out that way.
All right, well then, let's head in that direction. The more leads we can get, the better.
Alrighty. With that, it takes maybe a couple of hours to traverse through like the main thoroughway of the entire city. Again, like just splendor of gold. Like there are people here who are just walking around with gold like loosey-goosey. Like no one gives a fuck about this thing as a currency. So everyone's just walking around ordained in it. There's even a Naga who like kind of slithers by who has like a ring of them like going down her hood. And like it reflects at the sun almost like a little bit of a flashbag.
Siaka would love it here.
You guys reach the bottom end of the city. As I stated before, there's a giant gate that actually leads into the Acropolis, and it looks like it's the front gate that leads towards the main palace that leads upwards.
All right, so that's our goal, is to get in there eventually.
It's a gilded like guarded gate. There's a couple of like little layers of metal that kind of like block the entrance, and there's lots of guards sitting around. You actually also notice that there are these large balls of light that have little rings on them, and they look like they have moving eyes, and they're kind of like centuring their way like back and forth. You have never seen creatures like these before, but looking at them alone instills fear. Like you could just tell that fucking with this thing is probably a death sentence.
I motion towards them and just look at Dagon. Is that like
You do-
sort of security thing?
You do not
recognize
feel
this?
you do not feel the same thing because you are angelic in nature, but these are not things to fuck around. These are pretty much the guard dogs of angels.
What, those things?
Yeah, they give me a really weird, intense vibe.
I thought they were just statues. They don't, do anything.
Oh, they're moving back and forth.
I mean, they move, but they don't, do anything. Really. At least I don't think they do. They would have never done anything to Dagon, so...
Oh no! They're not going to attack. They're not going to attack you on sight. They're not just mass murdering destroy mechanics. They're things that have living souls in
Yeah.
them. As you continue down the pathway, looking south from the Gate of the Kingdom, you can now see a giant entryway that breaks open from the Ring of Mortals. The mountainside that was kind of enclosed around this area leads into an open valley, and out off in the distance is large hilly dunes that lead towards a plateau.
And that's our destination.
You know that there's a carve house just a little bit away from the gate that leads out into the desert.
So, shall we, Captain?
Let's head in there and see what we can do.
What shall we do with, who shall be coming with us, by the way? I know that, I know that our job is to stop some assassination attempt, but it might be wise to inform the guards of such a thing. They might not have been given word yet.
I mean, if it's an inside job, we might be tipping off the assassins.
It's true, if it's an inside job, although, as much as I am remiss to call my own kind good, I would say they are typically a little too stoic for that such of an action.
Don't look at me. This is on you guys.
Right. Thinking. It probably would be the best to at least pass some sort of warning on to the guards. My only fear is that it might throw some... what's the word I'm looking for? It might throw some suspicion towards us. That it just seems like we are maybe looking at, let's call them super legal ways of getting into these inner sanctums. And if we go ahead and give them a warning that, hey, there's an assassination attempt possibly, that might up their security, making our job to get in more difficult.
And Frida's kind of just sitting there, just going, and us asking this, trying to find the legit way, and then going out of our way to find a forgery. If they were to find out that our paperwork was a forgery, and we told them that there might be an assassin afoot, that will rouse suspicion.
Yeah, I feel like the concern here is that if we are caught and they've been told there's an assassination attempt like on the way, that might double, triple, quadruple our punishment that we get. Meanwhile, if we're caught and they have no idea that some sort of assassination is coming, the assassination might come through. Yeah, we should probably just warn them. The more I think
We can always try to take the more legal route. I mean, we can go to the bank. It's right over there, and you have that sigil from the royal family itself.
Roll a perception check.
27.
15.
Eloy, there's a celebration about to go underway.
15 as well.
There are people, actually, when you watch some of the people walk around doing their daily, day-to-day stuff, there are folks setting up, like, little flags along the street lamps. There are people setting up stalls up shop. There are people turning their front of their houses and their buildings into actual little small marketplaces. And there's a little bit more of a guard presence here than what there should be, because there's a lot over by the gate. That makes a lot of sense, but there are, like, those just stationed actually watching people doing their day-to-day stuff as they're setting up, trying to make sure, like, everything they're doing looks up to code.
Is it just me, or does it look busier than normal? It looks like everybody's getting ready for something.
I mean, the coronation's coming up, correct?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, that'd be it.
I mean, the guards are probably already on extra high alert, just knowing that a huge event's coming, but we should probably let them know.
Of course, the chaos for the event is probably the opening that the assailants are looking for.
Well, if they know to look for it, they might at least be able to keep a sharper eye for things.
So let's try to get our permit first. If we can get it legally, and no problem, no harm, no foul, great. If we have to get it illegally, then raising security might be a bit more of an issue for us.
Mm-hmm.
Looking over towards the gate, you actually notice that when you look over that small little lip, you see like a trunk kind of like raising up out of the ground. When you look over a little lip of where you're standing, there's a giant gold elephant statue that's ordained in what looks like flags and robes, and its mouth is open and a waterfall is coming out of it. It looks like it's a small fountain, and you could actually walk towards where the mouth is, but in broad daylight, that's a bad idea.
For the amount it took to build that statue, they could feed the entire world like a few times over for like
really fancy
centuries.
fixture.
People don't seem, like, destitute here.
Oh, not destitute here.
Like, even for the Ring of Mortals, like, a lot of this place doesn't feel like it's destitute. I feel like people are content. They're just really religious here. Like, there's a lot of people who are in prayer, a lot of people who are asking Salima for guidance or assistance. When people walk past you, it's just like, even when they see you, they bless you, go like, oh, I am so sorry if the guards act this way to you. It's not the proper way. Salima, bless you. Like, they're really up about the fact that Salima is a big deal here.
Very pious people.
Very much so, yes.
Yeah, but you try to sell ice cream to them.
There's a great gelato place around here. I should take you sometime.
Yeah, you should hear about what it took to get that to happen.
How does that work? Because the moment you stepped off this entire fucking place, entering the city, it immediately jumped 20 degrees.
Brooklina, man.
Actually, one of the people hear you say that.
I'm so sorry. Did I say I swear? I apologize. New to the city. Don't know the customs. I apologize.
It's okay, my son. But it's a little like gnome lady who just like looks at you. She like dropped her pot when she said that. She's like, oh. She like starts picking up. I'm sorry. I must understand that it's a different custom and everything, but please, you mustn't say that in front of the guard.
I understand.
That'll get you a one-way ticket to the plateau. You don't want that.
I do not want that. Thank you. Thank you so much. See?
They're insanely pious, yes. You say the name of a god and they will throw you in their death prison.
Well,
And fucking Charlotte looks to you. Well, yeah, that's the complete opposite of what Selima is.
all right, so don't bring up the antithesis to their god. Got it. Well, all right. Let's head to this bank and see if we can get a legitimate permit.
Yeah, you have three ways here. You have the bank, you have the carve house, or just going out the phosphorus, which is outside.
Yeah, and Phosphorus was where the
You heard rumors that there's a Luxodon.
There's a Luxodon there that'll
left
forge
the
it.
bank.
forge it. Yeah. So we'll head to the proper avenues first to see if we can get an audience with anyone who will
Alrighty.
give us a shot.
You head to what looks like a singular like little fortification. It's adorned in it has like elephant heads that come out of the corners of each side. A lot of them are actually like holding their hands up in prayer, and they have like little beads dropping down. A lot of it is actually adorned in rubies. You actually find it funny because you actually look at one of the corners. Roll a perception check.
11.
14.
22.
Eloy, you see what looks like there's chips in what the most bottom ruby that's dangling from one of the little prayer beads from the elephant statue itself. Someone tried to actually steal one of the rubies off that gem.
Huh. Hey. Tries to see if there's an employee that he can wave down. Hey man, you got chips in your rubies.
Oh yes, sir. Like you see one of the elves kind of like turns to you. Oh sir, we actually know about that. Someone out from the desert tried to actually steal one of these some nights ago. We were unable to catch the assailant, but we were able to stop them, and luckily the gemstone is safely secured. It'll take some time to get someone out here to fix up with the festival going on.
Oh, okay. Just wanted to make sure you were aware. Thank you.
Bless you, son.
Thank you. Oh, by the way, I got this deal here. I hold out the Ebercall medallion. We're trying to get a permit, a ruby permit.
Oh, sir, I had no idea you actually had some connection to the Acropolis. Please come in.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. See?
Thank you, Eloy.
You actually watch as you are cutting the line in front of so many people.
Hi,
There's
sorry.
like a giant like line that wraps around the building of people who look like they have like gifts to profit or to pawn off to try and either get rubies or a permit.
Is it a long line? Like, how long we talking here?
Wraps halfway around the building, so like 100 people.
Okay, so there's gonna be time for people to see. Always the shill here. I have 2 healing potions, and I'm just going to juggle them as I'm walking by. So with a sleight of hand of 14, juggling about and just going like, "Hi, natural wonders. Don't mind us. Sorry."
A little kid sees you that you're cutting the line, picks up a rock and throws it at you.
No, hey, sorry.
Roll an acrobatics check.
19.
Kid gets a nat 20. Snipes one of the potions out of your hand and it hits the ground.
I'm gonna try
Hey!
to catch that as it's falling.
Roll with disadvantage.
Disadvantage, all right. What's the stat I'm going off of here? Is this acrobatics or?
Acrobatics, yes.
Okay. That is a 12.
Nope, hits the floor.
Ching.
Ah!
Is the ground sand or paved?
It's sandstone. There's some sand, but it's pretty clean where you are.
All right, so it's
Yeah.
busted.
Yeah, it's busted.
I was just wondering if it was soft ground or hard ground.
Oh
that
no,
was all.
it's hitting hard ground.
Ah! I will take it in stride and just kind of
The little
assuming I can point out the kid who sniped it.
No, he actually tries to hide. You see the kid's silhouette, but he's hiding in the crowd.
Looks like we got a sharpshooter out there. Thank you. Your talents are noted, and the Wonders might be recruiting you next.
With a perception of 23, can I pick out the kid in the crowd?
Yes, you do. It is a small. Let me double check here. It is a small Azamar girl. She actually looks like she has one eye. She's a Cyclops.
Hey, that's...
She has one eye, and she has like little little quills that go out of her shoulders that reach down to her elbow. She kind of hides behind her mother.
I'm going to minor illusion from behind her a stern school teacher voice saying, "That was very naughty! 2 weeks detention!" Just to spook her.
I was gonna do something much meaner.
Oh, please, tell me what you were gonna do.
You said she's an Azamar, right?
Yep.
I was gonna say, you shall be extinguished next.
Oh, man. She's lucky Eloy got to her
Okay,
first.
okay. We got
jeez.
ourselves a fucking good cop, bad cop scenario here.
Seriously,
I want-
and I'm super good cop because I was gonna reward her. Yeah. I was gonna go over and be like, "Hey, that was a great shot." You know what?
I want both of you.
But if
Actually,
you guys
no,
are
no,
jumping
fuck it.
in, I don't have the time.
Persuasion, intimidation.
Oh, isn't mine intimidation?
Yeah,
as well?
intimidation.
Okay, excellent.
Both of you roll intimidation. You roll persuasion.
All right.
Whoever gets the highest takes this.
Okay.
I have proficiency in intimidation.
All right. Well, good luck. I got a 26 in my persuasion.
Ooh, that beats my 24 in intimidation.
I got a 26 as well.
Oh shit!
Okay. Okay.
Now
I'm
we
going-
now we
I'm
roll a
going to-
two-sided die.
No,
i.e.
I'm
a
going
coin.
to fucking tie this shit up. All right, boys. Here you are. Lowest roll gets it.
Lowest roll gets it. Okay.
Yep. We're
Here.
running by criticals here.
Okay.
Oh no, both of you need to roll both at the same time.
Oh,
Oh,
percentiles.
okay.
It's a 100.
Gotcha.
Here are mine. 64 on mine.
96.
Up, you win.
Oh, wait,
No,
no, Lois
no.
gets it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Lois
Lois
was
gets it.
64.
You got
Gotcha.
it.
Damn it, you're right.
Can I get those back?
Yeah.
All right, so you terrify this little girl.
That was very naughty. You shall be extinguished.
And meanwhile, I'm like, "Hey, I don't know who threw that, but nice shot. You might be coming with
Yeah,
us
you
next
can't hear
time."
any of that.
Yeah.
So let me go ahead and just write this description. Let
By
me
the way,
paint
the
a
voice that
picture.
comes from her is not coming from behind her, it's in her head.
So let me paint a picture for you. Hey, whoever did that, that was very naughty. You shall be extinguished.
In her own head.
All right, bye. I'm very happy. Just
Kid begins fucking wailing.
Eloy's looking at his flute. Oh no! I did a wicked again.
Dagon's eating an apple.
I didn't mean to make the little girl cry. I thought I'd
It's not your fault. It's not your fault.
don't worry.
They're
Eloy.
very sensitive around here.
Kid looks like she just angered God herself.
She probably just realized that she had also done a wicked, and now she's having the same realization you did. It's fine. You didn't do anything wrong.
Oh.
You walk inside. The fellow kind of takes you over towards one of the open slots. There, it's pretty much like a giant campus where you now notice there are 7 to 9 feet tall, really large and stout elephant men dressed in really garnished robes. They have a bunch of earrings going down from their ears. They have their trunks ornate with rubies as it goes from a center jewel from their head going into their trunk. One of the fellows behind the counter you are taken to. There are only 5 elephants in this entire there are only 5 Luxodon in this entire place. And there are actually elephants that are standing inside the bank. They're held off in a separate pen, and there are people praying to them, standing before them and giving prayer to them to Saliba.
It's funny when they lift up their tail and shit near them because they continue praying.
Do they view it as a blessing or something? Is it a positive thing?
They do.
Oh, this group is pretty great.
You stand before one of the slots as one fellow uses his trunk to lift the slot, and there it looks like a very, very old gentleman. His he's got a brown reddish layer of leather for his skin. The hair on him is kind of sagging and graying out, but again, it's kind of like ornated with a little bit of like braided gold. He like kind of like sits down and with a very, very somber and very like a voice that like just spouts wisdom from it. He speaks to you. Gentlemen, may I be of assistance to you?
Shifting almost immediately from giggling at the idea of shitting elephants to trying to be like very proper and like respectful, like just kind of an immediate like, oh yes, sir, please, if you could help us. We're actually emissaries. We were supposed to have an audience with the king, but there was a mix-up with the permit I received.
I beg your pardon, sir, but I don't mean to be rude, or I don't mean to presume. I'm sure you have all the intentions in the world to get this permit and to speak with the king as you claim to say, but I would need proof. You and most of the others outside here, they would have some story to believe that they too are worthy of a permit.
Right, but we have this medallion, and I kind of like nudge Eloy.
Yeah, this do anything for you? Hi, I'm Eloy, by the way. Go Spooker.
We've personally, like, we have met the king before back.
I mean, he was the prince then,
Yeah.
but he was still a very nice boy.
If you speak
The
us
trunk,
by,
the trunk kind of like reaches out, grabs the medallion as he pulls it in, and he tries to look at it. He like pulls out a monocle, and he's trying to look at it very hard as it slips into like multiple monocles.
the permit I handed to the guards earlier, did they keep that? So do I no longer have that?
You have no longer have
Okay.
that. They kind of played it off as a joke.
Oh, that's kind of rude.
Yeah, thinking about it, I probably should have.
But at the same time, based on what this Luxodon told you, everyone here is trying to get into the Acropolis.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of bullshit stories.
I understand if how much trouble, like how much more trouble this would be for you, and that everybody has a similar story. But I'm just begging you, real quick. Like we have urgent news we need to give to the king for his ears only, and if we don't make it, people could be in danger. And I'm trying my best to do this as legitimately as possible. We have this medallion. If you need rubies, let me know. We can get that settled and figured out. But it's just this is in everyone's best interest if we can get in to see him.
Persuasion.
Come on, getting all those cool rules earlier. There it is. 13.
He hands the medallion back to you. I can help you in some way, but I am not one who is very agile in my work anymore.
Anything you can do would help.
I can offer you a small pittance of rubies. If what you say is true and based on the medallion you have held to me. If my eyes do not deceive me, you have business with Oslim?
Yes, Oslim was our good friend, the advisor to the prince. Yes.
That's Oso.
Oso. That's right.
I'm oh so glad you remembered.
Roll a performance to fucking pick that shit back up.
These rolls, 14.
The Elephant Man looks at you with disdain.
I'm sorry, we're jokers by trade before. This is sort of a new job for
This
us.
permit is not a laughing matter, sir.
I understand that. Please forgive my insolence. I'm new around
Forgive them,
here.
they're new around here. Yes, I know, I'm extinguished. Drink it in.
I share no judgment on what you are, sir.
Thank you, I appreciate that. It's very nice to see that once in a while.
It is not my place to pass judgment on who they are. It is my place to make sure that the accounting of all rubies is taking place in a proper format.
Absolutely. And I have been hired on as these gentlemen's guide to this land, and they're unfamiliar with our customs, so please do forgive them for their transgressions. They mean nothing by it, I assure you. We simply just are looking for this permit to make our job a little bit easier. I know that these are trying times and that there are many things going on, but if we could just perchance maybe get an expedition on that permit, it would really make our job so much simpler, and it would make me ever so happy.
As I've stated, as much as I can give you rubies, the permit, however, will be a harder situation for me. As I have told you, I am old and I am frail. I could make you one, but it will not be in the allotted time you wish. Making these permits is of a special case that anyone who is sanctioned must make themselves. And, well, I could show you. He kind of tries to lurch up. You look down, and his entire body is withering and mangled. He walks with the aid of a cane as he stands up, but that takes 5 minutes.
Sir, if I may, I hold out my hand toward him.
For what?
I'm going to cast Healing Hands on him.
Kind of just revitalize him a bit.
Oh yeah, no. You take his hand, and he does so. You feel the magic source through you, and you give it to him.
He gains 6 health points back, I think.
Nothing changes.
Yeah.
He kind of like sits down. Bless you, son, for trying to assist an old man, but I am nearing my 800th age on this planet.
You don't look a day over 700.
I can give you rubies if in exchange for the medallion. The paperwork, however, will not be something I can be able to do.
I'm
in the
afraid
allotted
this
time.
medallion might just be a chip that we need in order to get where we need to go, unfortunately.
However, if what you say is true, and if you don't have the time and you don't wish to wait, I can write to a colleague who lives outside of the city. If you give him my message, he will give you your permit.
Who would
Yes.
who would this colleague be, and how may we find him? Them.
Oh, fuck. Hold on. Let me get this. Oh, yeah, okay.
fuck.
Right. I got it.
Afuk. It's a family name.
Because I had the name down. I think I just put it on a different paper.
It's not easy to remember names, is it?
It should. I have the fucking name. I have it on here. His name is Hippolyte Neris.
Hippolyte Neris.
As you know, the Neris is... As you know, my son, the Neris are those who scour the desert in search of things out of the Realm Gate.
Yes.
Hippolyte has decided to make that his hobby, and something he wished to do more than actually being able to legislate onto those who wish to enter the Acropolis. However, being of his race and his religious status and his duty to the kingdom, even if he does not work for the courtship, his word will be valid enough. If you give me but a moment, and I'll give you a parchment to deliver to him. He will give you your permit, but I can offer you a small bit of rubies in order to get you inside.
Greatly appreciated. Thank you kindly. What was your name again, sir?
Khan.
Thank you, Khan.
This poor old man, you see him turn around, and it just looks so agonizing to see him move. It's like watching a dead wilted Trent trying to turn around. As he grabs a small piece of paper and he uses his trunk to wrap around the pen, and you watch as he sloppily tries to write down a message. Watching this man move, you could feel your age grow.
Out of character. I have this ring of free action that I'm so tempted to just be like, hey, you know what? This might speed you up, and here. But I'm like, man, it's a really valuable item. I don't want to just hand it off.
Also, if you attune it to him, it's going to go on his large fuck all finger.
Oh, yeah.
No, he doesn't have hooves. The Luxodon have like a puppet hand, like Muppet style, 3-hand finger.
Ninja Turtle style, yeah.
Yep. He offers his trunk out for the pendant.
All right, I hand it over.
About an hour passes as he's taking out a lockbox, and like he's going through like 16 different keys to open it. This shit is taken very seriously. This is no fucking laughing matter when it comes to the accountant of rubies, because he's also doing the paperwork as well. An hour passes, he gives you a small lockbox. Containing in it is 150 rupees. Rubies.
Thank you, and just thank you so much for helping us. I know that this is, one, difficult, and just two, I understand that you have a huge line of people out here, so thank you so much for your time.
Well, that and being of my age and being as trustworthy as I am, I'm afraid that my wisdom might be fading with those who are younger here. My word may have not been enough to assist you, but hopefully Hippolyte's will. Here's the parchment. He hands you a small box.
Thank you very much.
And it contains a letter. You can read it. It's almost, you can't understand what the fuck it's saying, but it's like written in very ornate papyrus. It's written in what looks like red. It looks like red ink, and part of it's kind of faded out. But that looks like it's intentional. It's like half the word is written, and then it's cut, and then it goes into another word. I wish you gentlemen good luck, and may the blessings of Selima shine upon you.
I bow and give and same to you.
He like tries to nod his head, and he uses his trunk to shut the shutter again.
Well, okay, that's a lead.
Fairly well, Con.
And with that, we'll stop here.
All right. Well, what an interesting new city we're in, and we'll find out more about it next time at the table. But before we go, as per usual, we got some fan art to look at and talk about today.
Should be at the top of the list.
Yep, let me just pop in here. Number one, first up.
Ooh.
Oh, we got a little pencil and
Why
paper
the fuck
wrist.
is every wrist picture started off with awe?
Because it's Risk. He's best
Risk
boy.
is so cute. I was gonna mention how him and
Yes!
Pliskin
No, success. Fuck that. My designs worked.
how him and Pliskin are going off together. I was just like, they're my favorite couple of our team.
Yeah, sorry. I retweeted a few this morning, so I have to
so
scroll
it's-
down a little bit more.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm surprised this one isn't in there. This one's really good. I really should curate these a little bit more. But here, this is by A. Edmund. Thank you kindly, A.
Edmund. Thank you so much.
It's a good-looking
Risk.
God of Destruction wrist with a. Oh, I like that his staff has a little dice in it. You can't really see it from here because
Yeah, it's kind of hard, but
Yeah.
we can't see it. But you at home probably can.
Yeah. Thank you kindly, A_Edmand.
At some point, I'm gonna take a picture of our display that we have, so people can see how little we can see.
Next up, by MFS Arts,
Oh,
we
yeah.
got. I love that the background blends in with the sky.
Kind of perfect.
Got Mr. Large by MFS Arts.
Yeah, did you know that Mr. Large could just Jesus across water?
Totally can. He creates land wherever he walks.
I wouldn't put it past him.
He's a good guy. Thank you kindly, MFS Arts. More wonderful looking stuff. I love that emblem on his chest. I don't know what that is. It looks very Overwatchy actually.
I don't know what it is either, but I feel like when I first saw this, I was just like, oh God, what happened to him? He's got the Xbox red ring on him.
he looks like a Guilty Gear fighting character with those
yeah.
manacles
That
on
makes
him.
a lot of sense. Yes.
His stance gives me very Johnny vibes.
Oh man,
Yeah.
man, I want to hear some Daisuke butt rock now accorded with him.
Mr. Large, you're the
Iron
only
sights,
one.
yeah.
Next up. From the same batch of MFS Arts, we also have Zastlamel here, who also looks like a Arxis fighting
Yeah.
character.
Yeah, sorry, I kind of got a little biased on that one. I'm just like, no, I like this one so much.
It's
Hey,
really
dude,
good.
I don't blame you.
I don't blame you. We talked about it on Friday, but I love that she's first of all got the tiefling hooves that we love, but it also kicks off into the back that part of her armor has the heel at the end of it.
Yep. Dude, this is wild arms like you would not believe.
Looking great. Thank you kindly, MFS Arts. Next up,
Yeah.
By
Art.
Scandranin01, we got Frida, Jillian, and Charlotte. Hanging out here with some disenchanted art style. I'm really sad I didn't like Disenchantment. Like
I haven't watched it yet, so I
I made
cannot
it
speak to
15 minutes into the first episode and just couldn't keep going for
I've
whatever
heard
reason.
it gets better from people, but I just haven't started it yet.
Here's the. No, that is a very common complaint. It takes too long to get good.
That's too bad. Oh well. Regardless, this art style.
this is great.
I liked
Yeah.
it the instant I saw it.
So can it
Already better than Disenchantment.
can it be Eric Andre?
Is that how it?
That's
what his
Lucy's
character-
voice actor. It's Eric Andre.
That'd have to be how it
Gotcha.
works. Awesome stuff. Thank you kindly, Scandranin01.
And no, Ezra did not purposely give himself a harem of elves to travel the seas.
That
with.
was just coincidence.
Yeah, it just turned out that everyone that seemed like it was really good is also elf.
Turns out elves are just pretty good at their jobs.
Turns out that elves kind of comprise the majority of the race in this entire world.
It turns out
That's what the thing is.
We're traveling with nothing but fey creatures right now. Actually, are orcs fey creatures? I don't think they
No,
are. Aren't
they're their own
okay,
thing.
so we're traveling with nothing but fey creatures and
Also, Mr. Large is not an orc; he's a goblin.
yeah, well, he's a goblin, but I'm talking about Frank Ocean.
Oh yeah, he's half orc, so yeah, that makes sense.
All right. Next up, Baskethead Nedra by Ziga Exeron.
Gift baskets. They gave us hats.
They gave us a hat. I kept this one.
They gave us that. No, it's a okay.
It's a gift bag. Nope. Shink. Hat. I guess I can't deny it.
It does work.
It serves its function.
It is adorable. Thank you kindly, Cesar Morales, a.k.a. at Ziga_Exeron. Next up. Oh, man, we're skipping over so many.
I've got
Wow.
I've got this bat for you.
Well, I guess that is why we started a whole nother stream just for fan art. Because
It's
there's
true.
too much good stuff.
There really is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like this week was hard to choose. I like.
Yeah, but this one by Alejandro Toro. I love that, like, that smug little chubby, I'm gonna beat you,
Yeah.
beat you, Nedra. At the ATS 99. Just, you walked into the wrong neighborhood, some bitch. You're gonna get bopped. I'm gonna bop you with my kill stick.
I'm gonna punch you with my big stick.
It's just that chubby cheeked face that I
Yeah, no, that's just so good.
I also like that you can't see it because it was like put on the screen a little odd, but she actually doesn't have legs in this shot, so she's literally just a.
That's why I put it that
Oh,
way.
okay.
That's why I put it that way, so it actually looks like you're just getting the top part.
Yeah, but I really like this other way because when you like look at her without legs, she looks like a smug nugget, or as I call it, a smugget.
Brian, can you actually just click on her and push her up a little bit?
Yeah, you might accidentally grab another picture, which is the problem. So I wouldn't worry about that.
There.
Yeah, look at it. Yeah, look at that smugget. That's what I call it.
Just floats suspended.
Thank you kindly.
can't punch
Alejandro.
with legs, don't need them.
Thank you kindly, Alejandro Toro. Next up. Okay, this one's actually back up. At
The
Roseblood Wolf. And I used this in the thumbnail last week just because it's so poignant.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
And this is actually the only Yeldon funeral art we've gotten.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Huh.
But still, you don't need much more when you have this one.
No.
It looks great.
Then again, there are people who are still catching up, and this was the
True,
very
yeah.
tail end of the episode.
It's very
Yeah.
true. Although
Yeah, it's the
this
last
came
one
out exactly one day after the stream. So.
Ah.
Which is why I was able to use it for the thumbnail, for that matter. This is by Roseblood Wolf. Thank you so much, Roseblood Wolf, for the wonderful, wonderful work.
To the Eldon.
Next up,
Ah,
by
shit.
Nice Round Shapes, we got Zaslamel with her fancy fiery blade, a bottle of drink in her hand, and 4 guns on her bandolier.
She's always prepared. What? She's battle ready? No. Well, you know what? Kind of. Yes.
I'm ready for anything.
At all times.
Are we going to have a good time or a better time? Holds up the sword.
Yep.
Thank you kindly. Nice Round Shapes. Looking great. Next up. Another diabetes attack by Red Flame Kitty. Wake and Nedra playing with a little bunny farm.
Remember tell you about the rabbits.
Tell me about the rabbits, Wake. Yeah, you just gotta feed them nuts.
Give them
I like
carrots.
I like the one in Wake's arms. Just like, give me. It's like holding its arm out. So like, I want
It's
that.
like, I just want
Now-
the carrot.
There's some fucking weird thing that I've always been told that I find strange because I don't think it's real, but people have told me because they work in pet shops. You're not supposed to feed rabbits carrots.
Yeah, I've actually heard that is actually like not good for their diet. Apparently.
Yeah, like
Not exclusively.
yeah.
Yeah, well, no, not exclusively, but like someone made it that like if you are feeding this thing cyanide if you give it a carrot. That's how it was described.
I don't
to
know
me.
if it's like
Carrots
bad
carrots
for
do
them,
have arsenic in them, but
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly on that, but I've definitely heard something along those lines.
All right, so
before.
I'm not crazy, and
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh shit.
yeah, they're not like it's not something that you should give them a lot. They like them, but
Yeah.
it's not something that you should
Feed them
you know,
all the time.
Yeah, it is
That
not
is not
like
their
a
lunch.
constant snack that you should give them.
Right on.
I don't think it's awful if they have like one
One
every
or-
now and
yeah.
again, but then again, I'm not a rabbit owner.
Right, but
so
but at the same time, like the reason why I brought it up is just like is.
that's
that's
probably
it,
they
that's
probably
it.
just can't digest it the right way.
Sorry for that. I was just
It's
like,
all it's really fibrous, so it wouldn't shock me. Either way, thank you kindly, Red Flame Kitty. This is adorable. I love it. That is another like Wake goals. Next up, by at
Yeah.
Assault87,
Buddy.
King Pirate Emperor Ezra.
I have ascended to my throne.
how do you like me now, Father?
What say you now? You come groveling to me.
Oh, Papa! It seems you've entered my court.
I like to imagine this is just what Ezra spent all of his money on. He just has this in a shack
Yeah,
and he
this like
just sits
sick
there.
ass
this is in his
throne,
captain quarters right now.
full regalia, but the ship is like in total disarray.
The ship actually doesn't have a crew. It's beached.
Ah, yes, priorities.
My kingdom.
Everything the light touches.
Assad87, thank you so much. If Ezra goes dark, we know why now.
Oh, hey, Ezra is led mostly by greed with a little bit of compassion. If he can get something out of it and help someone, that's what he wants. If he's just getting something out of it, yeah, we can work with that.
As we've noticed today, Dagon is petty as fuck and has no chill, so. Next up. Adorable. It looks like she's like just woken up or just got out of bed kind of Nedra.
Bedhead Nedra.
Yeah, Bedhead Nedra by Ghoulie Guts.
I think we just went with it that now like the half tunic thing is her thing for a month.
The wrap and the
Yeah, it's so
the
she can
wrap and
keep
the
it's so
robe.
she can keep her punching arm free.
Yeah.
it gets like the robes don't fit her properly, so she has to have her punching arm ready.
She
That's
gotta
just
take
how
them
she trains.
swings.
She wears the half robes and the wraps, and
They didn't have
it's a
one
good
her
look for her.
size, so she's only wearing half of one that actually fits another person.
We didn't make them for the 9-foot tall people.
I mean, they live close to Ebercall. Why not?
They don't come this way, I guess. I don't know. They take time to make.
As Amar aren't fans of the martial arts.
Especially when they're set on fire and they set the clothes on fire.
Either way, thank you kindly, Ghoulie Guts. Looks wonderful. Love the use of colors. Love the use of lighting. It's great. Thank you so much. And next up. We got the former king of comedy, Broadway McSlander.
I love his rubber chicken staff.
Would you believe me if I told you that was a last minute addition I added
The
to
rubber
him?
chicken staff.
The rubber-
It seems zany enough that I can totally see that, but it worked perfectly.
The rubber chicken was the last thing I was just like, fuck it, I'm going in this all in.
The one thing that caught me here,
Yep, it's the one that when you put under the sink,
the one thing that caught me here, what race was Broadway McSlander?
he was a hobgoblin.
Okay, yeah, I couldn't remember if that had come up or not, but
Yep.
Now it makes sense.
He's a hobgoblin.
Spider-Man.
I was waiting for it.
Yeah, this is by Dav88 Man. Looking good. Thank you kindly, dude. And do we have one more? Aha, that was it. Aha, for the first time I got it wrong.
You underestimated.
I underestimated for the first time. Regardless, thank you so much for joining us here, guys. We're happy to have you, and we'll see you guys next time at the table.
Pick up the creature codex.
Take care.